Hello.
Hey,
So, guess what?
what?
I just got offered a debate with the other Paul from some random Protestant who's going to host it. And the other Paul already agreed, apparently.
Wait, so you're debating him soon?
I have no idea. I haven't even agreed to it. They offered a couple prompts. I'll go over the prompts with you guys today.
Are
Um,
you gonna cover Chut the Builder thing?
I might. I mean, we can talk about it. I just, like, my thoughts are pretty simple. There's a political pragmatic part of it, and there's a don't be a retard part of it.
Yeah. I was actually literally about to click live and I saw you, so I guess
Yeah.
I'll talk about it another time. But it's like,
Yeah.
remember how I was talking about like people who are pushing like the normalization of that sort of behavior, it's going to like eventually
It's
ruin
gonna
Orthodox.
backfire.
Yeah, like this is just vindication. And um I mean, did you see what happened to like the people in that parish? That's what I'm concerned about because that parish is like in risk of being shut down. It's like freaking horrible.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
to be honest, I might sound heartless when I say this. I don't think he's guilty, but it's like I don't really care about him. He's an idiot. I care about all the genuine people in that parish and the priest that tried to help him that he defied, and now they're all in trouble because of him and all the dumbasses like Orkland, Ruslan, JP. They're gonna get their share of jab with this incident. Like,
yeah, I mean, it doesn't do anything to help anybody. It is, I think, the biggest problem.
yeah, I mean, yeah, again, I saw this coming. It's like eventually when you know the individuals that are pushing that it's okay to do this stuff, but it's like eventually you're gonna have
Yeah,
um
to be fair, I think it's less than what people tend to. It's not a great category.
Blake Eisenbeis. Okay. Apparently he doesn't like Cleve a lot.
Doesn't
Cleve
like cleave.
Cleve pissed you off, Pufferfish? What I'm This is why Cleve won't make you a mod.
Oh man. Oh, you gotta upload a bunch of images. I don't want to do that.
To do what?
I wanted to make a tier list of church fathers in the Orthodox Church, like theologians in the Orthodox Church.
Oh.
Guess I'll just create a single use template. There we go. We'll just do squares.
I love Cleve. I tried to raid you the other day, but I
Did
had
you?
no idea how to do it. So I just told everybody to go to Nikolai's stream.
You go to YouTube and then you have to activate raid and then you have to choose a redirect when you end your stream.
Now, where do I find the active raid thing?
It's so let me just check it real quick. I'll because I can't I always forget to. Because I don't do it as often as I should actually. I should do it more often.
Mhm.
Let's see here. You go to your dashboard, you go to settings, you go to I think it's community moderation,
Mhm.
user management. All channels can redirect to my content. And then
Uh, is that it?
I think so. But I also think channel guides, controls. There's something. There's permissions. No, that's correct.
I'll look it. I'll set it up because a lot of times I host the debate and I see you guys are on. I just wanted to send people there. I don't no idea how to do that.
I figured it out once, and once I did it once, I could remember, but I haven't done it in a while. So
Gotcha.
indeed, Christ is ascended. Um, let me share. So we were gonna do this, but I guess I can't figure out how to make a tier list with Orthodox saints. There's no public tier list.
I mean, you mean theologians?
Theologians is what I meant. Well, saints, theologian is kind of a, you can't be a theologian without being a saint, frankly. Um, uh, da, da, da. Yeah, I just can't find it. Ah, that's unfortunate. That's okay. I'm too lazy to do it right now, because I don't have a bunch of images for all of them.
Mm.
Oh, dude, Alex said, "Dude, I'll raid your stream after I wrap this up in like the next 30 minutes." And then him and Father Steven went on for like another like 5 hours, and I was like, I can't do it that long.
Mhm.
All right, we're gonna do start taking callers. Let me get the link all set up here. I gotta do all this stuff. I didn't do this. You hopped in and were like, "Hey, bro," and I
Yeah,
was like,
I'm
"Oh,
just
I
here
better
for
get this started." I was watching Cleve's stream, which some unhinged stuff happening in the timeline, guys. 100%.
JP is just never gonna debate anyone at this point. So like, I'm just letting you guys know.
MMD said October, bro. I don't know how it's not that difficult of a thing to set up.
No, he literally wants like debate like immediately, but it's like he's not gonna. I'm letting people in the chat knows that there's no point for you guys to go provoke him. There's also like because he doesn't get any attention. He gets off by like you guys going over there to provoke him in the chat, and then he have his goobers respond to you guys. That's what he likes people to do. So don't do that. I mean, it's pointless. He's not going to debate anybody.
No, I don't think he has any intention of debating anyone. I had something that we were going to cover. Oh, yeah. So let's start with um, the prompts that they were going to do. Let me get this. Let me show my face now. So here are the prompts. I'm not going to show the DMs because I think it's kind of inappropriate. To show people's random DMs, especially when they were nice to me. So they started here with, "I have a debate set up for you and the other Paul on my channel. Will you accept?" He said, two prompt ideas. Is scripture alone sufficient to bind the conscience? And then the second one was, has orthodoxy ever changed its doctrine? I have a problem with both of those prompts
Well, the
for
first one
various
is really
reasons.
stupid.
Well, the first one, the issue is the question in whether or not Scripture is authoritative. No one debates that. No one debates that Scripture is authoritative. It's whether someone can bind an interpretation onto my conscience. Everyone believes. Every Christian believes that Scripture um, is authoritative. So the debate there would just become this kind of meaningless. Um, this meaningless thing. And
Yeah,
so I immediately have a problem with that. I said the debate should the day the I told him in summary this debate would be us agreeing. Then when I try and bring it into an interpretation, I'd be told that that isn't the question in hand. So the prompt is too limiting and it's completely one-sided onto the Protestant field. The Protestant doesn't have to defend their sola scriptura biases. They just have to defend their. They just have to say, "Well, is it sufficient, bro? If you say it's sufficient, then I win." You know what I mean? Which is a really bad debate prompt. The second one, which they said is, "Has Orthodoxy ever changed its doctrines?" That puts me at the defensive the entire time. I don't
yeah.
have any ability to challenge his views.
Hmm.
He gets to just basically it's not a debate, it's an interrogation. He gets to interrogate my views and then I don't have any ability. It puts me on the defensive the entire time. I don't actually have any way to make Paul lose the debate because
Yeah,
Paul
he's just gonna throw like a million quote mines at you. You're gonna spend the entire debate trying to unwrap that.
exactly, and that's what I said. I said, as to whether orthodoxy has changed doctrines, it's too vague. Liturgy has changed, but we would argue that the principles in core dogma has not. This prompt requires me to know everything about Orthodox doctrine and know the history and explanations for all of them, something I admittedly am not equipped to do. And that was my response to him. I said, as for other prompts, it'd be better to choose a prompt where both parties are required to give and account for their respective systems in some capacity. So I'm not accepting a debate. So now they came back to me with these three ideas, and I think these are a little bit better. Can Protestants justify a canon of Scripture? Um, I think Protestants can't. See, this is another bad question because, of course, Protestants could justify it. The question is their justification sufficient? Right? Protestants can go, well, we can appeal to these guys and then just say that they're not infallible, and it's like, well, that brings in all these other questions, but that's not what the debate's about, right? That framing is too limiting once again. And then, is unconditional election true?
What is that?
Unconditional election, are you elect?
Oh, that crap?
Yeah,
Or he's a
but
Calvinist.
but the other Paul's an Anglican, not a Calvinist. So I'm
That's
like,
so
why would we
stupid.
even debate that? Anglicans don't hold to unconditional election as far as I'm aware, at least from my memory. Someone correct me if I'm wrong.
No,
And
they
then the third debate prompt, and this is probably the best one. Can the conscience be bound to an interpretation of Scripture without an infallible ecclesial authority decreeing it?
I think you can take that.
I could take that one. My problem with that one is it's very simple, is that, again, the other Paul's an Anglican. So in theory, he could say, "Well, I accept ecclesial authority. I just don't think it's infallible." And then that gets us into an infallibility debate. Are
So
the church fathers actually infallible? Did they view it as infallible, etc., etc.? Which just boils down to a bunch of quote mines.
it's not just
It,
that.
it, do-
It's
it
like
doesn't require either of us to actually defend our respective worldviews and systems. Do you get what I'm saying?
I do, but like there's this debate is going to be fully philosophy.
Well,
I
exactly.
I think you're going to destroy him if we do it, but it's definitely going to be fully philosophy. Has nothing
Yeah,
to
and
do
I'm
with
comfortable with philosophy. If you give me a couple weeks, I brush up on all my stuff. I haven't debated in years, like formal debated in years, and so I would do a solid opener, do a rebuttal, and then have a decent closer. The question could come down to the cross exam,
yeah.
and um, I'm not as comfortable with cross exam, but I think I could probably still do a decent job. Nikolai, do you mean the liturgy changed in the sense that the core structure of it changed, or that it varies based on individuals who wrote it? Um, well, the liturgy is simply the synthesis of the church's means in which they bring about um, the sacraments to us, right? It's the vehicle that they use to explicate doctrine, to give us the prayers, to give us theology, it's the vehicle in which all that happens. And so the liturgy has changed. They've added prayers, they've added acathesis, things of that nature. But that doesn't necessarily mean that its core presuppositions have changed, right? Like the core beliefs undergirding it have changed. So the liturgy of St. James and the liturgy of St. Mark are fundamentally very similar to the liturgy of St. John Chrysostom. The difference is that St. John Chrysostom's liturgy is actually shorter. Believe it or not, the liturgy we practice today is significantly shorter than the liturgy of St. James and the liturgy of St. Mark.
It's the shortest, if any. Yeah, it is the shortest. St. James is around 3 hours. I've seen the Coptics. No, I've seen the Syriacs do it. It's 3 hours.
Yeah, and the Alexandrian Patriarchate will sometimes do different periods throughout the year. They might do a liturgy of St. Mark occasionally. They don't do it very often.
That one I've never heard before.
I haven't either, but I do know that they have done it. It's the same thing with St. Basil's liturgy. Like sometimes that will be done like on a specific feast day, things like that. Um, so I don't know, guys. Like I'm not 100% clear. I don't know if Cleve is still alive. He is still alive. I hope he raids me. Maybe he will. He has 600 viewers, guys. That's insane. So that is that. So guys, you might be seeing Nikolai actually do a debate. I kind of swore off doing debates that weren't politics because, frankly, I'm not as comfortable with religion as people seem to think. Now, that being said, I don't think I'm incompetent in it. I debated Pedro. If you guys remember, Pedro used to be the host of the Crucible. I did the canon of Scripture debate for the Bible. And I think I won. Most people seem to come away with saying that I won, especially if you read the comments at the time. I don't think that debate is still available on YouTube. You'd have to check the Crucible's archive. Um, and then I also debated JF Gariepi on God's existence, and people said that I did a pretty decent job on that one too.
Where can we
JF,
find that? How do we
there,
find that one?
both of those would be on the Crucible's archived Crucible.video, I believe. Actually, let me go see, because you have to be a member to access
Well, what
Crucible.video.
happened to Gary Appy? I heard he got shut down from the internet or something.
Basically, he was too edgy for the internet, because he's a race realist, but he's atheist.
So it's one of those.
Yeah. He's a biological determinist. I mean, of course he is. He's an atheist. He's a scientific atheist guy. So, Crucible
I mean, Pedro is
video
an idiot,
archive.
to be fair, Octavian. I've debated Pedro too. The guy is totally dishonest and an idiot.
Oh, he's not as smart as he likes to think he is. He thinks that his arguments are much stronger than they actually are. Important. Welcome. Become a member today to access all of our full-length videos. Years of archived debates. There we are. Yep. Sign up today, get access of all of their archived debates. So you'd have to go to the Crucible to see it. And I
Gotcha.
don't care if you guys want to, if one of you guys have a Crucible membership, then, and you guys want to give me your feedback on the debate, go ahead.
Bingo Vigo, if you want to see St. James, ask your priest for a blessing to just attend the Syriac church because they do it. I think so because the one I saw was at the Syriac church. They're actually closer, maybe a little bit closer than to us than the Coptics in terms of liturgics.
You could probably just find the Liturgy of St. James as well on the internet and just watch it too.
Yeah, there's
Like,
that too.
you didn't vote for Pedro? You guys are funny. Um, but yeah, no, Pedro is one of those guys. I thought he completely left the internet. Because he was actually told by his church at the time that he is no longer going to be doing online debating because he was getting too riled up by the Orthodox. He kept on losing debates to us. First it was
Well,
Jay, then it was me, and then two debates with me, actually. I think two separate debates with me he lost. If I remember correctly. It's been so long. It's been years, guys. So um,
yeah,
that
he
that
was
is the case.
lying. When I debated him, he was lying. He said the London Baptist confession that he holds to teaches real presence. I'm like, no, I
No, it
was like,
doesn't.
and I made a response video. I was like, okay, well, I don't know anything about that, but can you show me? He wouldn't show me anything. And then I pulled it up. It's like, no, it literally teaches. It's not. It says the people who believe in real presence are stupid, something like that.
Well, because what they do, like all things, they redefine the words to meaninglessness.
Yeah,
When
of
they
course.
say real presence, it's like, well, we believe Christ is truly present, but no, that's not the question. The question on the real presence is very simple. Is the bread and wine, does it become the body and blood of Christ? The real elements of the body and blood of Christ. Do the elements become that? The
Oh.
question is not, is it spiritually there? Or is Jesus present in it? The question
Jay,
is, does it become that?
Jay, answer your question. He won't debate me. I already asked. He asked me. I said, okay, if you want to 1v1, I can. You can be a Q and A. Can be anything. He won't debate me. He's already made that clear. He
Well,
won't
he
debate.
offered to debate me, and then he just like ghosted everybody who said, "Yeah, Nikolai agreed," and then he's just ghosted me ever
So
since.
again,
That's because he's trying to upgrade his like presence and his like getting noticed. You guys got to remember,
you know,
the reason he wants to debate Jay so badly or Alex Soren so badly is because Alex Soren gets a lot of viewers and a lot of eyes, and so does Jay. It's that simple.
let me ask you: do you? Because I don't think he actually wants to debate any of these people. He want to put the debate out there and trying to then play it as a way as the other side's running. Because this is the pattern.
That seems to be the pattern that I've noticed.
Yeah. So
I
I don't think he genuinely
can't.
wants to debate anybody.
No, no. Um, so somebody says, "Oh, you have to wait at least to the feast day of St. James. That's when the church celebrates, unless you have a different calendar." Yes. So
And brother, I gotta go, but take care, man.
God bless you. Um, so yeah, so guys, we are going to be reviewing a bunch of stuff. We're going to be going over some chats. We're going to be looking at some stuff that's going on the timeline. And then if there's any videos that you guys would like me to review, let me know. And then as always, if you don't want to give YouTube your 30%, you're more than welcome to PayPal me. PayPal is in the link in the description, so you can PayPal. Um, YouTube takes that 30%, so it's up to you guys. If you want to super chat, feel free to super chat. I don't mind either way. I'm just letting you guys know that there's a way. And then at the end of the stream, I check my super chats, and if you leave me any notes or any super chats via PayPal, I'll read them out at the end. So just wanted to let you guys know that. We got to monetize you jokers. So, Nikolai, can you review my recent debate with Nick? Don't know who did you debate? Like, you have to let me know the name of the debate. Um, Nick Fearless Truth? I'm not like I don't know who you're talking about. I don't have a link. I don't know. Okay, see, ancient Christianity is the Orthodox Church fully like the early church? Well, that depends what you mean by like. If you mean as in every single thing is the exact same way as it was in terms of praxeology, no. But if you're talking about doctrine and the presuppositions undergirding the doctrine, I would say yes. But praxeology is not dogma. It is not doctrine. Praxeology reflects those things, but it is not like. Um, so, for example, if previously we didn't have access to certain types of paints and we didn't paint our icons in certain ways, we used colored stones, but then eventually we developed technology for painting, um, there'd be nothing wrong with us instead of using colored stones using paint, right? So like that would be the it was the last stream he had, first caller. You're talking Nick Fearless Truth. Okay, Fearless Truth. Last stream he had with Nick. All right, pulling it up now. Okay, so I think this is it. So we'll share the screen.
Do you agree that in order for someone to be a true prophet, he must worship the same God as the previous prophets?
Yeah.
And would you say that the God of that the previous prophets worshipped is a triune God?
Yeah.
Okay. And so Jesus.
So let's see here. So if you're ancient Christianity, I hold that Rome and Orthodoxy have both traditions of men, like Jesus called the Jews out for. You'd have to tell us what specific traditions you think are that. Just saying, hey, we hold to traditions of men is kind of irrelevant. And it's kind of like a nonsense. It's a nonsense thing to say even. What do you mean traditions of men? So that's the first questions I have. So if you mean simply that we have traditions, yes. But if you mean traditions of men, as in false traditions, traditions that were not of the apostolic deposit, that means you have to get more specific. You can't just say that. Icons. Okay, well, that's in dispute. Okay, so what about icons is a tradition of man? True apostolic You know what? You can call in, brother. I'm not going to do this with you in the comments.
Jesus, he only worshipped the Father. He didn't worship the Triune God. So therefore,
What depends
he
what
didn't
you
worship
define
the
as
same
worship.
God. Like praying to, doing things in the name of God.
Praying to?
Yeah.
Praying to,
Jesus,
bro, what? Praying to isn't worship.
Yes. I mean that's if this is Johan's argument, praying is not worship. It can be involved in worship, but in of itself, it is not worship.
okay, well, however you define worship, who did Jesus worship?
Before Damascus means we'll go ahead and get the TikTok live started. If y'all disagree, hop on in. Y'all know the drill.
And guys, by the way, also, you guys know the drill too. If you guys want to see me debate somebody, if you guys want to have somebody call in, you can do that. In the mutt.
How's it going?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. I'm alive. Christ
Yeah.
is ascended.
Yep. Christ is in our midst.
All right. What can I do for you, brother?
Well, I was just I wanted to share something because today was a really interesting day for
Sure.
my wife and I. We are currently about to enter into the catechumen stage.
Glory to God.
Yeah, we're coming from Roman Catholicism.
Okay.
Listening
That's
to
very different than what I came from.
Yeah, where did you come from? You're a Protestant, correct?
Reformed background. So like John MacArthur, R.C. Sproul, Paul Washer, those types of people.
I'm not super familiar with the Protestant position. I mean, like with a Protestant background and stuff. So is that kind of like Calvinist? What is that? Would you?
Calvinist. I mean, yeah, their Reformed Calvinism is, yeah. I mean, they're Calvinist basically.
Okay.
There's a little bit of like flexibility within there, as you know, with all Protestants. There's like degrees of. Well, I don't quite hold to that, but they're still our brothers. You know what I mean? So.
So you're,
But yeah.
you're telling me there was Calvinists, and then those Calvinists reformed and made a new form of Calvinism? Is that what happened?
Kind of. Yeah. I mean, yeah. The reformed movement that I grew up in was kind of like a big push. There's this movement called the Young Reformed and Restless movement, where they were trying to kind of revitalize Calvinist oriented churches. So they weren't exhaustively one denomination. So you could go to many different denominations, a lot of non-denominational evangelicals, and they were trying to reassert kind of like a dogmatic theology, and so there was less theological chaos in those circles. But it didn't really work out. It kind of died off. So, anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm
No,
kind
it's
of
fine.
getting
Yeah.
bogged down.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I've been watching and I've been watching you and a few other content creators about everything going on with JP and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
it's really interesting watching it all because man, it just shows just how much of a mess things can get when you're not a part of the one true church.
Correct.
Just how like that call that Andrew Wilson had with David was it just told you everything going on.
Yeah.
Just with where he is with Christianity and stuff like
when was
that.
that? When was that?
Oh,
Recently? His recent discussion, or are you talking like from a little bit back?
Well, wasn't his most recent discussion when he jumped in and he was just asking him basic questions on like Christian dogma, and he didn't really even have a position on any of it? Yeah. Did he have another case, like another?
Well, he's talked with like Andrew Wilson. He's talked with like a priest now, and he's talked with Ben Luigi and things like that. So I mean, there's quite a bit. So.
Oh, okay. I don't want to stay on here too long. It's not my show.
No problem.
I just want to ask a question real quick before I get into what I was originally gonna tell you about. But
yeah, go ahead.
What is your opinion so far? I mean, do you think that David is kind of maybe he's a little bit more sincere than we thought he was originally, or do you
It's
think
hard to read David. David has this like when Father Peter was talking about things, and when Father Peter would like pause to see if David had anything to say, it just seemed like it was going in one ear out the other. It's like he wasn't really absorbing any of it. And my immediate, like, at first I thought it might have gone well, but then he immediately jumps on with JP and those guys to like
Right. Yeah.
analyze what was being said, and I'm just like, that just doesn't seem like he's actually chewing on anything that's being said. It doesn't seem like he's actually like listening to the arguments, analyzing the arguments, and like seeing what they say, right?
It could be like a tactic from David where this is something where he could kind of bring up later to any Orthodox Christian who calls him out and is like, well, no, actually, I spoke with an Orthodox priest. You guys like Peter Hears, don't you? And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, well, look, I've done my research and I have the recording to prove that I have actually done it. And so you guys
Yeah.
can't say anything about me not doing my research because clearly I have and stuff. And it could be just something he's stacking on top there
Mm.
to, you know, to cover his back. But
Yeah.
I just wanted to share like a really interesting thing. It's not really on the on the topic, but I thought you'd find it to be interesting. I've been listening to you for a long time.
Appreciate that.
I never call in because I'm a truck driver, so every time I listen to you, it's like I'm driving a truck and the audio
Yeah.
can get messed up and all of that.
Yeah.
But my wife and I are coming from a traditional Catholic background. We would go to a Latin Mass parish and stuff like that. And that's where we actually met. We were going there for many years. This is under the
Mhm.
Fraternity of St. Peter and stuff like that.
SSPX.
It's FSSP.
FSSP, sorry.
Yeah.
I always get
Yeah.
all of those different ones mixed up, so.
It's funny because that was one thing because I was inquiring into Orthodoxy before my wife. I was the one that kind of brought her into it. And one of the conversations that we would have was about how when Vatican II happened, that's where the SSPX comes from because they were
Mhm.
trying to preserve the Latin Mass. And I would just tell her, how is it the case? Like you love the Latin Mass. I love the Latin Mass, I still love the Latin Mass. I'm not going to ever not like the Latin Mass. But
Yeah.
the reason we have the Latin Mass is because some brave individuals actually went against what the Pope was dogmatizing in a Vatican Council. And the only reason we have the Latin Mass is because they did that. I thought it was like an interesting point. She actually really chewed on that too, and that was one of the things that actually led her to inquiring into Orthodoxy as well. But we had a really interesting experience today because we're going to an Antiochian parish right now. And that's where we're praying to be accepted through there, to be received through there and get chrismated. And we go to our liturgy at 9:30, and our traditional Catholic parish was having like a family gathering.
It was incredibly easy to start.
And we went to our parish, our traditional parish, and one of her goals was to go and speak to the traditional priest, and let her know about, I'm thinking of becoming Orthodox and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And she's known this priest for like 10 years almost, and he's been her spiritual father pretty much that entire time, and she's really looked up to him. And it was really weird because I even thought too that when she would go and speak to this priest, that it would be a very mature, cordial conversation. And to my surprise and her surprise, it was really cold. And it was like his response was very much like, okay, well, if that's what you want to go do, that's too bad, but okay. And
There was no like, no, please, I insist. I really want you to stay. Like it was just kind of like robotic like response.
yeah, it was just very like, I'm disappointed. It's not like I'm not. It's like it was like almost like that. I'm not mad at you. I'm just disappointed kind of response.
Yeah, I hate those kind of responses.
And it wasn't because our Orthodox priest is fantastic. I mean, he's not a humanist whatsoever, but he's also not like, there's this certain type of Orthodox confidence that the priests have where they're not afraid to look at other traditions outside of the Orthodox Church and recognize their beauty for what they are and stuff without jeopardizing their Orthodox beliefs and stuff, because they're confident in the fullness of the truth of the Orthodox faith. So, for our priest, I remember when I was actually trying to be received, he would tell me a lot of times, like, if it ever came to the point where I was thinking you were going to be divorced or anything was going to happen to your marriage by you becoming Orthodox, then I wouldn't allow you to come to divine liturgy until this was sorted out.
Yeah.
And that's the response that he had. My wife goes over, and it's like this shunning of us, this like, well, you are not one of us anymore, so I'm not going to give you the time of day type of
Yeah, it's
response.
almost like for you, it was like a strong-armed kind of approach, where with her it was a relational cutoff approach, because when men and women respond differently. That's a very odd way of trying to, you know,
Well,
I don't. That's weird.
that's the thing, is I spoke with this priest too, the traditional Catholic priest, about my inquiry into Orthodoxy and stuff, and he was very kind to me,
Hmm.
and we spoke about it. My wife goes to speak to him, and it's a totally different response, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just wanted to share that, just to kind of like maybe give to some people, because I saw somebody was talking about how Rome and the Orthodox, this and that, in the
Hmm.
chat. I think it was ancient Christianity or something like that.
Yeah.
You When you keep everything at this like weird kind of like, I don't know, Jay Dyer kind of had a good word for it, but it's this you're keeping everything at ideas and not keeping it at
Yeah. At
how
some point,
what is the life like?
the life
Yeah.
of the church has to be lived.
Right.
Eventually, like you can theorize about the faith till you're blue in the face, but eventually, where's the show me the fruit, show me the praxis, show me
Yeah.
the life of the church, things like that.
And my,
You know.
my wife and I we were born Catholic. We met in the traditional Catholic parish. We thought we thought we were there. We were like, I never thought in my life that I would be ever looking outside of the Roman Catholic Church
Yeah.
or anything else. I'm at a place right now where it's like, and so is my wife, and today was kind of the nail in the coffin for her, where it's just like, I can't even believe how wrong we were about the Roman Catholic Church.
Well, the thing is, and here's my, again, from an outsider's perspective looking in, because I was never Roman Catholic, it always seems to me that the Roman Catholic Church keeps people in bondage through culture, right? So what they do is they create this very, very, it's almost like, how Protestant churches will oftentimes have like a cult of personality surrounding the pastor.
Hmm.
And to question the pastor, well, then you just need to leave. Like, sorry, if you're gonna buck the system, then we're going to make it so uncomfortable for you that either you fall in line or you leave. And I think for a lot of people, the leave option is eventually the only option they have, because they can only handle so much cognitive dissonance. And I think a very similar thing happens with the Pope, right? And I think a lot of people are kind of waking up because of like Cleve's Catholic news segments. It's like you have this, this is my biggest critique of the Pope. You have this infallible uh, leader, this infallible pastor of your guys' church, who's supposed to guide you guys, and ignoring the fact that he makes errors occasionally. Okay, fine. Let's just assume that that's possible within your system. The fact of the matter is there's the German bishops, and there's bishops throughout America, and there's all sorts of scandals that are happening all over the world. None of them get addressed ever. You know what I mean? Like the German bishop had that like weird embryonic alien like mass that
Hmm.
happened during, I think it was back in Christmas,
Yeah.
and it was
It
like
was
the
a
nativity.
nativity thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, if that ever happened, if a bishop approved in a pre, or let's say a priest did it without the approval of a bishop, that priest would be defrocked in 5 seconds in Orthodoxy.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? Like that just there, it's just there's no universe in which that is acceptable, in which it wouldn't be addressed at some level. And if and goodness, if it got so bad that it was like a problem in an entire jurisdiction, there would be a pan-Orthodox synod addressing it as well, right? Like these things just that like systematically they get addressed, but yet the Roman Catholics keep on trying to tell me and others like me, no, 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 no. You need Peter, you need the Pope in order to um make this all work, right? And it's like, okay, fine. Show me the fruits of it working, right? Like at the end of the day, show me that you actually got like talk is a big game, but show me the fruits of the talk, right? I think that's really what it comes down to, right?
I think what you're saying ties perfectly into what I've always thought, which is that this is a living, breathing church that we're talking about, right? Who's like, is your church living, or is our church the living church? And at the end of the day, we could, like you said, we could talk until we're blue in the face about ideas and about dogmas, about this or that. But it's like, at the end of the day, the Catholic Church has this issue of every single person has their idea of what it means to be Catholic. And it seems to me that Catholic apologists have given themselves this responsibility of actually being the people who are going to tell the public, the Catholics, oh, this is actually what it means to be Catholic. And it's actually not the responsibility of the Pope or Rome or the magisterium to tell people what it means to be Catholic. It's actually up to the people who read these things all day and make videos about it all day. That's who's actually going to be telling you what it means to be Catholic. Whereas for me now, my wife, because we go to an Orthodox parish, we go to our Orthodox parish and we know Orthodoxy. We know what the church teaches because we actually attend Divine Liturgy. We actually go to Vespers. We actually live in the church.
Yeah.
And all you need to do, I always bring this up with my Catholic friends. I'm like, I've had my traditional Catholic friends on multiple occasions defend glossolalia because they have to defend it because we have 20 million charismatic Catholics who are speaking in tongues to each other all the time.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's
it's
supported by the bishops and Rome.
yeah,
So
and you have again, you just had a bunch of Roman Catholic apologists defending the fact that you have a huge swath of people who literally venerate Nestorius in their liturgy.
well, it doesn't what's his face? Elijah, doesn't he go to a Nestorius liturgy? Because he's
I
a
don't remember. Sorry, Syrio Marlborough, something like that. I can't remember. Syriac, or he goes to a Syriac Catholic church,
he's a
which
Syriac. I forgot the specific name, but it started with a C, I think.
I do. I kind of know what you're talking about, but yeah, it was. I mean, it's
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, it's all bad.
I think it's CRY something like that. Oh, gosh, you see, it's gonna bother me until I remember it too. Oh, never mind.
It's fine. I'll look it up and then I'll let you know in your comments or something if you see it. But I appreciate you letting me to share that. I don't want to take over the show and everything.
Oh no, no problem. That's what the call-in is for people just to chit chat and get their thoughts out there on stuff. So but if there's anything you want me to review, you can hit me up now. Is there anything you'd like me to kind of review and get
Jeez. Yeah, there is. Hold on. Can I look this up real quick?
Yeah, no problem. Take your time.
Okay. I actually do have something. Let me see if I can find this. Let me see if I can find this. This is okay. What's the word for the theology on leavened bread? Sorry, I'm
you're
totally giving you like a vocabulary quiz right now, but
yeah, I'm trying to remember. Eucharistic theology, I guess it would be leavened and unleavened, because it's all related to the Eucharist.
hold on, wait. I got somebody who could tell me. ChatGPT. Let me see.
So true.
Hold on. What is the theology on leavened bread?
Let me I gotta get this. I gotta post these anyways. Guys, remember to share the link with anybody that you want. If you want anyone to call in and debate, now is the time to do it. All your favorite social media stuff, Discord, whatever it is, share the link. Let people know that they can call in. blah 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 blah. Like, share, subscribe, super chat, whatever you guys want to do.
We could just pull up like a 4-hour Christian Wagner video and just watch it.
Yeah, Christian Wagner is an interesting cat because I think he's kind of living in fantasy land where he's trying to defend a church that doesn't exist anymore. Like, the church isn't, like, the Roman Catholic Church is not Thomistic anymore. They don't, Thomas Aquinas is, like, nice. It's like, oh, cool, yeah, he was good for the time, but we kind of moved beyond him now, right? Like, Vatican II kind of, and especially the modern Catholic popes, I mean, like, they don't hold Thomism. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. Well, that's the thing, and that's kind of like the point I was making earlier, which is that the main job of Roman Catholics today, or the Roman Catholic apologists today, isn't to defend Roman Catholicism. It's to inform Roman Catholics today what the true teachings of the Roman Catholic Church are.
Yeah.
Their whole job is so that as you as a Roman
papal
Catholic,
lawyers, as
yes, yeah, exactly.
Jay Dyer often calls them, papal lawyers.
If you're a Roman Catholic and you're doing everything you can to understand what Roman Catholic dogma is, which I was Roman Catholic for 25 years, I still don't even know what Roman Catholicism really teaches, to be honest. And so I have to go on YouTube and be like, oh, what does this document mean? Oh, what does this say? What's this controversy? But don't worry, Christian Wagner is going to tell me. He's going to tell me what it all means, But if I accidentally click on a Trent Horn video, I'm going to get a totally different reading. And then I'm screwed, because I don't have the infallible Christian Wagner's words to illumine my soul. You know what I mean? So don't worry. Christian Wagner's going to save us, man.
Yeah.
He is. Jeez.
I'm
gonna send it.
Open the direct link. So guys, if you want to call in with your mobile, open the direct link in your phone's default browser. So copy the link and then open it in Chrome or Safari or whatever your default app is. That's what it's telling me on Google. Enable permissions, try desktop view. You can tap your browser's menu options and click the 3 dots or 3 lines and select request desktop site. Use a PC. That's what it tells us so far. For some reason,
man,
they need to fix that stuff. Those are small bugs that really annoy it. But Rumble, it gives me so many other features that I have to keep on using it. Like, StreamYard is great and all, but the problem is that StreamYard, you have to pay for all these features. Like the call-in feature, I don't even have that on StreamYard because it's only panel. So, anyways, go ahead. What did you find?
No, I can't find it. I'm gonna, because I feel bad. I'm totally hijacking your channel, so I'm gonna go ahead and just try to find it, and then I'm gonna send it in the comment section. And if you want to check it out,
no problem.
Feel free.
Well, let's listen to this then, and you can hop off if you want. You're more than welcome to chill here. I don't care either way, brother. So
I got time. I'll mute myself and watch this with you.
Cool.
Go ahead and take one up. We already have one. Johan, what's going on?
There we are.
Yo, what's up, Nick?
What's up, man? What you got?
Okay, so today my goal, I want to try and make things a little bit more clear for everyone and everyone listening. So my goal is to demonstrate that God does change in the person of Jesus Christ,
In his essence?
therefore that God does undergo change.
In his essence, he changes?
No, he changes in he hypostatically undergoes change.
What's a hypostatic change?
That's a change in his person. So he's now a composite. Okay, so I want to make again. I know some people in the chat were asking me. So before he incarnated, he's one. You could call it maybe simple divine person, right? You can just imagine that.
No.
I know who this is.
Yes, he's in our chat right now, or he was at least earlier.
He was arguing the Spider-Man argument to Deacon Ananias.
Oh, really?
I don't know if you heard that argument.
No, I haven't. But one thing that I will say is that the reason this doesn't work immediately is that there isn't one composite person in the Trinity. It's 3 persons, 1 essence. So immediately you have a major issue with your triadology.
By becoming human, things get more complex because the person is no.
So if God can actually change and adopt a more complex nature, that means he's not God. He doesn't transcend it. God has to transcend these categories. He has to be able to transcend it all. He encapsulates and transcends. Unity and multiplicity, right? There's unity in the Godhead, and then there's multiplicity, right? Without confusion, etc., etc. So, yeah.
Longer simply a divine person, a divine agent. It's a composite hypostasis. Composite meaning, composed of.
That's
It's
not
divine.
what.
It's
Okay. What I want you, because you showed me, you said in the chat you're going to show me St. John of Damascus and them. Show me what they mean by composite, because I can guarantee you didn't actually. You just saw the word composite and you think St. John of Damascus means composed by it. So go ahead and show me that what he means by composed. What you mean?
Yeah. Ambiguum 42. God fulfilled for our sake the truly new mystery of his incarnation. Here again, and this is the key word, God innovated, and to innovate, to change something new, his human nature in terms of its mode, or tropos hyparxios. That's not its principle, not the logo.
Yes,
So
he
this is where
innovated the human nature. Yes, the human nature is created.
this is where we were, I
yes.
think, talking past each other a little bit. I didn't mean to say that his divine nature underwent change. The divine essence itself.
All Maximus just said in that quote is that his human nature changed. His human nature is created.
Right, but the fact that he's now in a new mode of existence.
Where does it say he's in a new mode of existence now?
Yeah.
Well, St. Maximus talks about that.
Where?
What do you it says right there?
Where did he say
that? It says right there. You know how Johan, if you're going to make the argument, you're going to make the argument that St. Maximus says that, you should be ready with a source, at least to tell us where, because St. Maximus has a lot of writings. What do you mean?
It kind of sounds like he's arguing for two gods too, by the way.
A little bit. Well, the problem is once you adopt one heresy, it's very easy to accidentally argue your way into another heresy by trying to defend the previous heresy you just uttered. Does that make sense?
If he's saying that the essence changed when Christ was incarnate, does he also believe that the essence that the Father and the Spirit have also changed as well?
Yeah.
I mean, if he were to say
You're
that,
talking about multiple essences in the Godhead too. That's multiple gods.
Yeah, that would be two gods.
Yeah.
The person enters a new mode of existence.
You mean the hypostasis there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where did he say that?
Well, I can give you St. John Damascus saying that.
Okay, show me St. John of Damascus
directly.
where he says that the person enters a new mode of existence.
Easy. Chapter 7. The very hypostasis of God the Word was changed into the hypostasis of the flesh. And the hypostasis of the Word, which was formerly simple.
I'll go to it so I can show everyone on the screen together.
Became
St. John of
compound.
Damascus.
Again, yeah, I know it can be. I'm not trying to confuse anyone.
Okay,
I know it can be
nobody's confused. Book what?
This was exposition of the Orthodox faith, book 3, chapter 7. And again, it's emphasizing that
book 3,
Christ
7.
is now in a new mode of existence.
Which paragraph?
I know it's chapter 7. I don't know which exact paragraph.
Man, you got to do better than that. You got to have your sources ready. I mean, it's okay to summarize sources if it's like a general statement, but if you're going to make a statement that's very specific, you have to be able to just be like, hey, it's this chapter specifically, especially if you're going to make the claim that, like, for example, if I say, well, the church fathers talk about this in a general sense, then you can kind of say, well, here's a list of church fathers that talk about it. Well, then you can have a more general discussion. But if you're going to say St. Maximus explicitly teaches what I just said, you better have that source ready. So, expecting someone to read the entire chapter 7 of entire chapter of a writing of the church father live on air to try and debunk you, I think.
Of the word formerly simple.
Okay, I have it on the screen.
Became composite. All right, got you.
Matter of fact, I can just control F it. So you said changed, right? Was
Yes,
one of the
sir.
words? Okay, I'll just control F it so we can.
In his person. It's not that his divine nature became less perfect, or it's not about that. And this is where I can get the language has.
The word became, the first thing that pops up for him is, and the word became flesh without being changed. I mean, that kind of ends it right there.
No, but watch, he's about to cook right now. Watch.
It sometimes has to be kind of
so
precise.
funny. I looked up change, and the very first thing that I see is that God should become man, and the word became flesh without being changed. That's funny. Okay, let's keep going. Let's try to find the quote you're talking about.
That's not addressing what I said, though, Nick. You're just throwing that out there, man. Come on.
Okay, so he says what exactly? What were his words?
So St. John Damascus multiple times affirms this. So he says, the very hypostasis of God,
Sorry,
Word,
guys,
was
if it
changed
looks like I'm
into the
concentrating really hard, I'm trying to read, and my
Yeah,
eyesight's not as
agree.
good as it used to be on these small screens.
Stasis of the flesh.
It doesn't say hypostasis, it says subsistence. So you just lied on that.
What is this guy's tradition? Like,
I can give you the physical book, and it's
Yeah.
Is he Catholic?
I have no idea what he is. I think Johann is a build your own church bro. But he's very into the church fathers, so therefore he's like a build your own apostolic church bro.
So he's Catholic. Okay.
I have no idea.
I'm gonna say it too.
Okay, well, but then it goes on to say, and the hypostasis of the word, which was formerly simple, became composite, became compound or composite.
No, it says subsistence.
Nick, this is Diophys. You affirm what I'm saying,
dude. It doesn't say where are you reading it from?
All right. By the way, Coach Santos, welcome into the call.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
I can. You're a little quiet. Do you want to get maybe close to your mic, or just make sure that it's connected good?
Yeah, give me just a second here.
No problem.
So this guy's affirming diophysitism?
It's hard to tell what he's affirming because
he just said like, "Oh, we're diophysites," and so
into the substance of the flesh and the substance of the word, which was formerly simple, became compound. Yea, compounded of two perfect natures, divinity and humanity, and bearing the characteristics and distinctive properties of the divine sonship of the Word, in virtue of which was distinguished from the Father and the Spirit, and also the characteristics and properties of the flesh, in the virtue of which it differs from the mother and the rest of mankind, bearing further the properties of the divine nature in virtue, which is united in the Father and the Spirit. The marks of human nature and the virtue of what it was united to the mother, to us, and further it differs from the Father and the Spirit. Yeah, it's not saying what he's saying. Anyways, Coach.
Hey, is that better?
Yeah, I can hear you a bit better. What's going on?
Awesome, man. That's great.
Seen you in the chat for the last couple streams, so glad to see you be able to hop on.
Yeah. Please let me any kind of restrictions I can as an ex-Anglican. I could love to do some research, give you some of my old Anglican feedback. If you care for any, pick my brain on some of these things.
Sure.
But anyways, man, I just loved it to hear. I'm excited to hear about your debate. You know? That would be very cool.
Yeah.
Anything off the top of your head that I could try to give you?
Well, I mean, is there anything specifically that? I mean, first question is that are you like? I'm assuming you're not Orthodox.
I'm an inquirer.
You're an acquirer. Okay. Is there anything specifically about Orthodoxy that you maybe still have like some question marks about that maybe I can help at least point you in the right direction for?
Okay. Well, divisions, not divisions. I guess the differences in Roman and Greek. I'm attending an Antiochian parish.
Okay. Yep.
So I guess what I want to know is some real noticeable differences, and maybe within theology between
Yeah.
them. So
So there's no real significant departures in theology. Most of what you're going to see in the differences between the various jurisdictions of Orthodoxy, Antiochian, Russian, Greek, etc. The most differences you're going to see are based on they're going to mostly be based on like praxeology. So there might be some slightly different ways in which they do chanting. They might emphasize certain theologies more than others, only because that might be an issue that they have to address in their specific jurisdiction more often. Because as we all know, certain groups of people have propensities towards certain sins. Um, so that's really the only meaningful difference you're going to see in terms of theological differences. They all affirm the same councils. They all affirm the same core dogma. You go to a Russian liturgy and a Greek liturgy, you're pretty much going to have the same. You're going to be able to follow along, even though the Russian church does Church Slavonic, and therefore has a slightly different way, like cadence of the liturgy, but the baseline is still going to be basically the same.
okay, yeah, that's what I figured. I'm in Houston, so it's a pretty large city. You're gonna get just almost every kind of Orthodox church in Houston, but
Ah,
I've been only again starting to go to the Antiochian one that's nearby my house.
Antioch.
As an Anglican,
Yeah.
I have been in their school of ministry, and it's very small at this time because they're broke, bro. They're broke, and after splitting uh, from the Episcopal Church, excuse me, back in 2006 is when I came in when they were breaking apart, and
Yeah.
my priest was like, don't say anything about about this. It's heartbreaking for a lot of people
Yeah.
because of that. But the difference is that where the Anglican wants to begin their history. So
Yeah.
the Orthodox Anglican, and I think that's kind of blasphemous in a way, um, that they take their history all the way back um, to the beginning.
Yeah.
Venerable Bede is has been life changing for me, and to understand better that the Orthodox roots that began there, the continuality of that Orthodox ends, of course, under the Roman Catholic um, spread of the empire. But to that
Yeah.
point, there's many that are in the ACNA now who I don't know if it's also like the other Paul. Is he trying to go back to that
Yeah.
time in how he sees himself as an Anglican? Because it starts to get pretty hairy as and sketchy when we start breaking away from the 39 articles of faith.
Yeah, and I think the biggest problem with Anglicanism, and I had a very, very brief stint where I was an Anglican or attending an Anglican chapel service when I was in the military.
Mhm.
Very brief stint where I was regularly attending a more traditional Anglican church, but then I quickly realized that the Anglican church has all the same problems as all the other, various Protestant denominations. Is that the conservative wing isn't in a constant retreat, right? So the biggest problem is that you know oh a small subset of people in our church are pushing for female ordination. Well, shoot, this is getting pretty bad. We need to split from them. Okay, great, that's fine. So they split from them. They preserve some semblance of traditional Anglicanism, and then within 5 to 10 years, there's another group within that conservative wing that are, you know, placating the culture, and then it splits off again. And before you know it, what's all that's left is a couple handful of parishes, um, not meaningfully united to anybody, and then sometimes they're even in tangential communion with the previous people that they split from. So it's like this is the same thing. It's kind of the same problem that we were talking about with indie mutt here, or Indian mutt. here with the Roman Catholics, right? You have the FSSP, you have the SSPX, you have all of these like more traditional groups, but they're in a constant like retreat, right? They constantly have to like step backwards from the liberalism, which is not really a way that you can't really recapture the culture or recapture a church in that way, right? It's like
Yeah. My priest is trying to go to something called radical orthodoxy. It's kind of sounds kind of silly, but the book that I have here, it's by um, John Milbeck and Simon Oliver, and he studied under these guys, but they're still just trying to go back to original roots of Anglicanism and Orthodoxy. But I'm like, just why are we not going? That would have been my questions. Why are we not going back to Orthodoxy itself?
well, there was a push for that back in the 60s and 70s, I believe. But basically, the ordination of female clergy basically shot that into the ground. There was no chance that we were going to allow female ordination in the Orthodox Church, and so that was the end of any sort of efforts to reestablish things. And then also the biggest problem with the Anglicans is that essentially they all hold the branch theory. Even the most conservative traditional Anglicans hold the branch theory.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can't hold the branch theory and then claim to have the true church.
True.
At the very minimum, you have to say, well, we're just one group amongst many groups and we just think that you should become Anglican because reasons, right? Like, there's really no coherent argument for why one should be Anglican over any other group if you hold the branch theory. If you hold the branch theory, Pascal's wager starts applying, right? Like, I should go to the church that has the most exclusive claims, because at least from the Anglican perspective, the one with the most exclusive claims is still a true church, right? So, like, the other Paul, this is the biggest problem the other Paul will probably never be able to address, is exactly that. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. I'm getting a call from the wife.
Oh, I get that one a lot.
Yeah, it's interesting because it seems like with branch theory, that's like the same problem within Roman Catholicism, is that we kind of, the Catholic Church has a form of branch theory as well. Because
are you Roman, Indy? Or
I'm coming from Roman Catholicism into Orthodoxy, so I'm actually attending an Antiochian parish myself.
Okay. When I was coming, I guess when Nikolai comes back, share a little bit more. But yeah, I've kind of had a lot of conversations with my Roman Catholic buddies and seeing if we're going to be going down that direction or Orthodoxy. And of course, it doesn't take long to do the history of it and to see the common denominators here. It's like, it's not Orthodoxy.
Well, I think like what you've said, which is, pretty enlightening to me, is it's not really something I really thought about. But I feel like if you're right now part of a Christian sect that's saying we need to move back to Orthodoxy, we need to become more traditional, I think that should be a sign to you that, okay, perhaps I'm not a part of the true church. Because
my part has been pull against the Anglican Church. It's like we're saying in every Sunday the creed. We're saying we believe in one holy Catholic and Apostolic Church. Where is that church? Is it in Anglicanism? Because the Anglicans and the ACNA will say, we're the other Catholics. Proudly, they'll say, we're not Roman, and we're not Orthodox, but we all came in around the same time. Or as soon as we got some traditions to hold that St. John or St. Joseph and Mathia came to Britain and helped to convert way before all the others. So yeah, that's been my eye opener of like, Okay, guys, we're saying this in part of the creed. What's it? Why not go all in?
Yeah, it's just funny because that, like what you described, is the same type of problem I had as a Roman Catholic, which is,
All right. Hey
I was just,
guys, I'm
Hey,
back. I overheard you guys a little bit, so
yeah,
okay.
I got to get going.
Yeah,
But thank
yeah.
you, Nikolai, and it was great meeting you, sir. I don't really know what your name is, but thank you for
Call
having
me
me.
the coach. Call me the coach.
there we
Awesome.
go.
You guys take care.
You take care.
God
Thank
bless
you.
you.
God bless. Bye.
Yeah. From that part, Nikolai, I was be- coming to the School of Ministry to become a deacon in the church, but I
Mm,
had my struggles where I I can't say I believe in one fully Catholic and Apostolic Church without
yeah.
doing my history, and I think that is when in Anglican or um, anybody that's outside the one true church, has to really do their history. Protestants have to do their history. They don't do their history. It's like, what are you? And other than it's something that's I've cleverly decided to make up, and
Yeah.
it's hard to commit to something that is so relative to however interpret the scriptures, how I interpret history.
Yeah.
So the other Paul is we just got to find out, where is he drawing where does he see that the church starts? So, I'm attacking um, Reformed theology, or I'm trying to attack something that's, older. But I think you can pick his position by listening to um, other debates that he's done to try to understand. Because if he can't even um, agree to, I, you know, to the icons. It's like
Yeah.
you've already revealed enough, to me to understand where you are really trying to position yourself and trying to get an Anglican to commit, and because they are in the via media thinking that's hard. It's either one or the other, and
Yeah.
that'll be my thoughts. And
Well, I appreciate you calling in. If you don't have anything else, you can hop off, or you can just mute up, and then if you have a question, you can ask. I think we're going to be reviewing today. HHS went to a divine liturgy. We'll kind of hear his thoughts. I don't expect it to be anything but mostly slander, but
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I gotta get off too. So, man, I'll catch you on the other side, and then thanks.
Christ is in our midst, Coach.
thank you very
Thank you.
much, Coach. And like I said, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys' support. Like I said, share the stream, like the stream, everyone. Like I said, you can PayPal or Super Chat, whichever one you guys prefer. And we're gonna keep on getting on. So thank you to all who's in the comments.
Good night
So
now. Good night.
God bless you.
God bless y'all.
Awesome. Rafa, how are you doing, brother?
Still a little under the weather. Did not end up going to liturgy today, so it kind of sucks.
Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that.
But I, my priest has said if I'm sick, not to go because we do have old clergy in the altar, and I should not be around
Yes.
them.
Well, yeah, that's immensely important. Actually, people underestimate how easy, elderly
People get
can
sick,
get
yeah.
sick. Yeah.
So I didn't want to go and share my germs. I have a Gatorade and my water, and I can stick around for a little bit, but eventually I got to go figure out how to put a Jack Russell Terrier inside a house.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Well, we're gonna cover this. We'll see what they have to say. Probably not gonna be too great. I don't have much confidence in HHS, frankly.
Let's see how fast it makes me mad.
Probably pretty quickly, to be perfectly honest, he's gonna probably piss me off too pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But let's get going here. You don't need to listen to this.
And then now I'm being accused, seemingly of going in bad faith, which I don't even know how you could do that. Like, it's like I went in there and, like, kicked over chairs or something. Like, I don't know. But I was like, debate me on second, I see it, bro. Like, I just went in there to experience the divine liturgy. As many people said, hey, go experience it. It's so different. So let's talk about my experience. This probably won't be a long live. No, you can't win. That's exactly. I even put that on Twitter. I said, yo, I can't win, bro. You all asked me to go experience the divine liturgy. I go experience the divine liturgy. Now I must be going in bad faith. Then I want to say
It's
something.
not
Why
what
did you tell
anyone.
me to go there?
Who has said that?
Well, if you thought I was going to go in bad faith,
Why is it
did you
always
suggest I
straw
go?
mans with these people?
It's
Like, why? Like what? Is it a random anon saying you're not going in good faith? Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You know, I'm not going to accuse that. But my question is, like, can you actually answer? Like, can you actually just give us a critique so that we can actually respond meaningfully, or is it?
I think people should go for 3 weeks
Yeah, I think that
before they make comment.
yeah, I think going to 3 different services is really important.
No, 6 services. Saturday Vespers, Sunday Liturgy, 3 weeks in a row.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to count Matins as a separate service, then it's like 9.
Yeah.
But I think that would give any individual a very wide, like, if not understanding, view. A very wide view.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, when I took my little brother and his fiance, I told them, it's like, Father Michael might want to talk to you, but I would say don't have a long talk with him until the 3rd week, after the 3rd week.
Yeah.
So, like when they told me to read the Fathers, right? You tell me to read the Fathers, I read the Fathers. Now I can't use the Fathers. Like, it's just crazy, man. I don't
no
get
one,
it. Like,
literally, no one's done that. Listen, here's what's happened. Are you using the fathers correctly?
And
it's like you don't just get to quote random fathers from random sections and claim it's for you. You actually have to demonstrate that is consistent with the rest of their views, right?
That's our issue with the Latinizers.
Yeah, exactly. We have the same issues with actual Orthodox people who do that same thing, by the way.
Sola patristica, as Father Deacon Ananias calls it.
Yes. I still insist. Me and Father Deacon coined that term together. I just want to say I went in as we were commenting on that. I was talking to him in DMs on X. I was like, man, these Latinizers are crazy. He's like, yeah, I don't know why they're how they're treating. I'm like, well, they're treating the church fathers like Protestants do with sola scriptura. And he said, yeah. And then we're like, it's kind of like sola patristica. And he's like, bro, that's great. And then he started using it. I just want to say,
I need to find that surah, because there's a surah about Christians should only follow the book.
Yeah. Precisely, yeah.
It's like, this is Islamic. Sola Scriptura is Islamic. I'm just going to say that.
You just cannot win. Absolutely not. But I did take a picture of somebody else taking it, where I tried not to get their face, so you could just see, like, the priest and everything, just so I would remember it, because it was a very unique kind of thing for me. So, all right, but let's talk about some of the differences you might experience.
By the way, I want to point this out, and I've pointed this out before. There's nothing worse than a cringy Orthodox person who goes, I'm not like the other Orthodox. I'm going to be friendly in your chat, and I'm going to be like, agree with you on all your criticisms about the Ortho Bros. It's the most insufferable. Like, they're worse. It's worse because they're allegedly our brother in the faith, and yet they will side with our enemies, you know?
Huh, that sounds like some people I know.
Now, wife.
Barlam.
By the way, guys, look what I won at a gotcha machine in Korea.
A mushroom man.
Mushroom man with a little wand.
Don't play gotcha games, kids. They're bad for you.
Yeah, no, it's like they have these like little things that you turn style, and it gives you all kinds of characters and keychains and all that stuff, and it's like an entire store of gotcha games, you know. So you have a 1 in 6 chance to get the character that you want, you know what I mean? And so what ends up happening is like, man, those things must make so much money because it was crazy crowded. It was like at least 80 people just wandering around throughout all the machines, just like trying to get their little thing. And you could use your card. What's worse is you can use your card. So it's not like you can use like oh, here's a dollar bill. I ran out of dollar bills. I can't do it anymore. No, it's like you have a card. So it's like D, and it's like you
Yeah.
can rack up money fast in those things. And
Yeah.
this stupid little thing right here, this stupid little thing,
Probably cost you $40 at the end of the day.
No. I got it on my first try. So I actually got the one that I wanted on my first try. So I will say that. But this little thing was 6,000 won, which is about $4.50, roughly.
Okay.
$4.50. Guarantee you it cost them all of like 10 cents to make this thing.
Yeah, no, it's probably made in a sweatshop somewhere.
Yeah, let me see if it says made in China. Yes, it says China. So 100% made in China.
Chinese one.
Cheap plastic Chinese little character. It's cute though, so I'm keeping it on the top of my. It's got a little angry face. Do you guys see that? It's angry.
Should I play through Shenmue? Everybody's like, play Shenmue.
On Dreamcast.
They ported it to PC.
Can you use an EBT card? They don't have EBT cards in Korea.
Yeah, EBT is a scam.
It is.
Invented by a man in a wheelchair.
The Ortho Bros need to give up Neo-Pelagianism. Do you want to make an argument? Do you want to call in?
We don't believe in Pelagianism.
And what's Neo-Pelagianism, and how is it meaningfully distinct from Pelagianism?
Yeah.
And then once you give me a meaningful distinction between the two, then I need you to explain how we actually meet that definition. Because as far as I'm concerned, neo, semi, etc., Pelagianism is man, bear, pig. There's no one that actually holds that. There are a couple Pelagians out there, but there's really no churches that hold to Pelagianism. So explain to me where we are Pelagian, please. Please do that.
From your standard Protestant church, we're going to say a decent Protestant church, and some churches are good, churches are bad. Decent Protestant church versus this one. First of all, I was there at least 10 minutes early. Oh, hold up, we got a super chat. Shout out to Workman. Good to see you, brother. Scripture is not the word of God. Excuse me. Scripture is the word of God. Lord, forgive me. Not the word of Basil and pseudo-Basil and the made-up liturgy of St. Mark. God's word is greater than the emperor's word. You will never get me to argue over the power and authority of God's word. Amen, brother. And thank you so much.
How do you determine what's God's word?
Yeah.
I've
never heard of pseudo-Basil. Do we even, like...
I've never heard of pseudo-Basil either, but, like, who knows?
So I don't think Basil has any synonymous texts that we know of.
Yeah, I haven't heard of any. But I
I've
could be wrong.
I've heard several Protestants quote pseudo Saint John Chrysostom.
Yeah, I have seen that. Yes. Since when was Father Romanides Pelagian? He isn't.
He has his issues.
He certainly has issues.
But that's not his issue.
And most of those issues, by the time he was an older man, he had reflected on. Like, he used to be very ecumenist with the Copts, and then towards the end of his life, he was less ecumenist with the Copts. He's basically said they were heretics. So for some time, he was ecumenist when he was younger. But he kind of fixed that. But that's true for a lot of people. They adopt certain, like, maybe erroneous positions, and then over time they abandon those things. So you have to actually explain how is Father Romanides Pelagian, and what synod has condemned him as a Pelagian. Has there been any bishop that he's even come out? Because I can tell you this much: his works are translated into every major Orthodox language, and it's some of the first stuff that's translated into other languages. His dogmatic theology was translated into Chinese relatively recently. So.
Yeah. The last Protestant service I went to was my mom's memorial. So. And everybody was scared of me.
I went to a mega church as part of filming things for Kongman Lee. It was a large kind of evangelical, non-denominational church in Busan. and very charismatic, very charismatic. I mean, I wouldn't say they were like jumping around, running around in circles kind of charismatic, but they were definitely like, the best way to describe them is high church evangelicals. They still had much more of a proper understanding of a formal way of doing things, but they were definitely more like spiritually like charismatic. So they kind of leaned in that direction. I don't know. Very
Yeah,
interesting
yeah.
people, but they were very kind.
It sounds like an emergent church type deal.
Yes, and they were very kind. I got to talk to them about theology. They asked me about being Orthodox. They thought it was great. They're like, "Ooh, Orthodoxy sounds really interesting. That seems really nice. You guys are our brothers in Christ too." They're very, I mean, you're very typical
Yeah.
ecumenist evangelical church. Do you love Jesus types? Very good-hearted people, very kind people, but doesn't change the fact that, um, that there's going to be issues in that regard. So. Um, they even gave me 2 books of their lead pastor. He was the pastor that was jailed. That's why we were down there, because he was jailed by the South Korean government for speaking out on certain issues.
Okay,
So,
Johan, can I say something really quick? It doesn't matter that Jerome has quote unquote, whatever that means, the Protestant canon, because he then endorses the canon that's put forward by the synod.
listen, you don't need I don't need to read Dr. Vladimir Moss's article against Romanides. Romanides, as flawed as he is highly recommended by saints. There are saints that knew him.
Yeah. And as much as he had theological issues, he lived a holy life. I'm not like there's nothing wrong
He
with
was
him.
a regular. He was a regular. His spiritual father was on Mount Athos. He knew several Orthodox saints and several Orthodox saints that recommended his writings.
Yeah.
He was well regarded by his contemporaries, and even to this day, he's still well regarded by many bishops and many clergy. The only people that have a huge issue with him are people that have this kind of love affair with St. Augustine because he was a little harsh against St. Augustine. And in my opinion, probably too harsh. But
Yeah, that's partially why Saint Seraphim Rose wrote what is it called? The Proper Place of Augustine in the Orthodox Tradition.
someone says, dude, I live in Tennessee. I don't think there's Orthodox church near me.
There's where in Tennessee? If you live in Memphis, there's a monastery near you.
Let me pull it up
There's
because
multiple monasteries in Tennessee. There's multiple churches in Tennessee. The priest who baptized me, his now late father-in-law was a priest in Tennessee. The South is exploding. There's probably multiple.
Here, let me see. We got this, guys, so we can.
Even if it's an hour plus away, don't sweat it. Ooh, this app looks cool. 18 churches in Central Tennessee.
There's at least 3 or 4 in Memphis. There is 2 right across the border and 1 in Clarksville. There was 10 plus in Nashville and the Nashville surrounding Nashville area. You got. So Central Tennessee has a bunch. Southern Tennessee.
St. Peter Orthodox Church is a monastery.
Yeah, St. Tikhon Annunciation and St. Bartholomew, and that's in Chattanooga.
Okay, young apologist, I drove an hour plus to church when I was first starting.
Well, I drive to this day 2 hours one direction.
It's
not easy always.
It's worth it.
We got a mission, so they even track missions on this site. St. Nicholas Orthodox Church.
Smith County. What is the major city in Smith County? Tennessee.
We got a mission here, St. Peter's and Paul's. We got Christ the Savior Greek Orthodox Church, St. Tikhon New Martyrs of the Russian Orthodox Church. That's in Kingsport or near Kingsport. We got a monastery,
Oh, he's in
Panagia
central. He's in central Tennessee.
Central. Well,
Yeah.
there's more than enough in Central Tennessee
Yeah.
here. I mean, you're probably within an hour any direction. I mean, like you're in even if you're in the most remote area. So let's say like right around here or right around here, you're probably within an hour of one
Carthage.
direction.
Carthage. There's a church in Carthage. St. Peter Orthodox Church.
Carthage?
St. Peter Orthodox Church.
Oh, right here.
Right outside Carthage. Yeah.
There, it's a mission. It's a small little mission church right here.
And it's probably full of white people.
Probably. It's just outside of Carthage, it looks like, yes. So there you go. Hope that helps. You know, that's probably a 30-minute drive from Carthage. 30-minute drive. As I'm from Minnesota, so we judge everything based on distances.
I'm from rural Washington. Everything is based on hours. Was an hour and a half to Seattle, hour and a half to Portland.
You know, you could be in Minnesota where there's like literally no churches anywhere.
Yeah.
Like they're all in the Twin Cities, and then if you're in the northern part of the state, you got like 3 total.
Where I grew up was also called the Twin Cities, and there's no churches there. Right now.
Yeah. The Serbians are the only ones active in northern Minnesota at all.
Based. Is that a bad thing?
Not a bad thing. I'm just saying. Fargo, which is not Minnesota. We got, it looks like in St. Cloud. Yeah, St. Cloud has, wait, no, yeah, that's St. Cloud. St. Cloud has 1.
Ask your parents if you can make a trip one Sunday.
I did not know that Anoka had an Orthodox church.
Who are they under?
That boggles my mind.
Oh,
it's a tiny little thing.
It's a strip mall church.
That does not shock me in the least, considering Anoka. Anoka's like kind of backwater. It's kind of like a rural like ghetto.
Yeah.
It's like where all the ghetto people from all the rural cities around it moved to. And by the way, this was me right here. I lived in this city. Big Lake, which ironically does not have a very big lake compared to others.
Go to Elma, Washington. I want to see if it's on the map. There's 50 churches in Washington. What?
Yeah, 75.
It doesn't feel like
it lumps in some from Oregon.
It lumps in Oregon, yeah. Nativity Orthodox Mission, that one doesn't
on the
exist
east
anymore.
side or
west side. So Nativity Orthodox Mission doesn't exist anymore. They closed that down.
Oh, did they?
You're gonna zoom in on Olympia. This is not up to date at all.
Oh, they probably just you can send them an email and they'll update the map.
Why is there a Coptic church on here?
Again, it's probably mostly taking information from Google.
Yeah. 2 churches in South Seattle, but it's not going to tell you what they are when you zoom in.
Holy Theotokos Orthodox Church.
Okay. That must be that's the Bulgarian church. Yeah,
looks like it.
Bulgarians. I was ordained in Seattle. Right there.
You got two down the street from each other.
And actually, no, it's not the Assumption of Mary, it's Ascension. They got it wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever.
I'm kind of curious if Victoria has...
No, Victoria doesn't have anything. There's a couple I know that take a ferry to Seattle for church from Victoria.
See,
and they can only do it like once a month because it's a $200 ferry ticket.
83 in Alaska. Well, actually, 95 in Alaska.
Yeah.
Actually, I know for a fact that there's one like way to the north. I know for a fact there is one way to the north. So they're missing a couple.
Holy Cross is the farthest north one.
There it is.
Yeah. It's in the middle of nowhere. You actually have to get a plane to that village.
Yeah.
I know a priest who served there for on and off for a little bit.
I love it. Here's the thing about like Alaska that's really funny. The more you zoom in, the more lakes that pop in.
Yeah, there's a lot of lakes in Alaska. People don't realize that.
Well, it's like with Minnesota. Minnesota, everyone's like the state of 10,000 lakes. It's
Yeah.
the very similar, especially in certain parts of the state, like here.
So,
So you zoom in, you zoom
Holy
in.
Holy Nativity in Longview is no longer in Longview. It's in Astoria. It's now St. Brendan's Orthodox Mission in Astoria. Yes, Goldendale is being taken over. I don't know how or why. I haven't gone to the parish down there yet.
There's 30. There's a
But
lot here in.
allegedly, it's
This is not Orthodox anymore. This was a schismatic monastery that's shut down.
So Goldendale, the parish in Goldendale, is like a sardine can. There are people standing outside.
They really need to. To fix some of this stuff. You got a Coptic church here. They're missing the Greek church, which is up in this area. No matter how much I zoom in, it's not popping up.
Yeah, I really do prefer, even though I don't agree with the assembly assembly's website is still pretty good.
Yeah. St. Demetrius Orthodox Church. This is a huge Orthodox church, by the way. It's huge.
St. Demetrius is cool. Everybody should look up St. Demetrius' story.
St. Polycarp. This is a big one too. St. Paul. Very rich people.
Yeah.
Go here. So Naples is like a very rich, very wealthy area.
And I'm guessing the mission is probably Russian. Oh, OCA. Okay.
Romanian.
I mean, that tracks too, actually.
So Orthodox Church of America, Romanian Episcopate, South Deanery.
Dustin, I am from Western Washington, currently living in Central Washington.
I know for a fact there's ones in Miami that are not being shown here either. Let me see. Oh, that's maybe because I'm on the specific page for them.
If you're in Eastern Washington, you probably are either in Spokane or Pullman. Or Walla Walla.
This this isn't accurate because it says Russian Federation only has 1,156 churches, whereas America has 2,487.
Yeah. They're still working on, like, there are a lot of abandoned churches in Russia.
Yes, well, that is true. They're still trying to rebuild their...
like, the churches are there, they're just abandoned and empty.
They opened a new parish here in Gwangju. They have one in Jeonju. They have one in... where is it?
I've been to the Wenatchee parish. The priest there is father-in-law to one of the priests here. So I've been there once, and I might be going again later this year. I don't know.
They have one in Cheonan. It's a mission, though. It's not a mission, it's a chapel, so it's only reader services, and occasionally they'll do a full service. Then they have one in Incheon, 2 in Incheon. They have 3 in Seoul. They have 1 in Gumi, which is like up here. Yeah, right here. And then they have a monastery, like in this area, Cheonan, or church, Chuncheon, and then they have a small monastery chapel in Incheon as well. So they have 3 technically there.
The one thing I liked about the Wenatchee parish is that Father didn't come out to do bread and blessings until after the post-communion prayers. That was something I liked.
They have one in Ulsan right here on this little peninsula. It's a Greek church. And then they have 2 in Busan. So Korea still has a lot of work to do to get it well. The west side is much more well developed than the east side. Buddhism is much more popular in this section of Korea. So this entire area of Korea is much is much more Buddhist heavy. This area from here all the way to Seoul, much more Christian heavy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. The Wenatchee parish is cool, though. I'll say that.
sorry. I thought I had a super chat.
St.
Got my
Nicholas
hopes up. You guys aren't giving me the. You're kind of getting me to that 6 figures, man. I need the 6 figures.
He might actually, because he did get paid the other day.
Don't even mention that. It pisses me off still. I get so irritated. It's like, bro, I did a service for you, and I'm not getting. Like, they completely ghost me. No payments. Like, seriously. That's $1,500 down the drain, which is huge for us, for me and my family. Like $1,500 pays for all of our bills essentially for the month. Like people don't realize, like, because we can live off very little here in Korea. U.S. dollars goes really far, so $1,500 is huge. That's like a black hole.
let us not be adversarial in the chat.
Yeah, we don't need to. My whole family's Protestant, man. Yeah, that sucks.
No, he's saying EP should be booted from Korea.
Yeah, we're not going to be. Well,
I don't disagree, but it doesn't need to be said right now.
Yeah, we don't need to be causing issues in the chat versus jurisdictional disputes. Those things will be resolved by the bishops. And frankly, there's just probably going to be 2 jurisdictions in Korea forevermore. I'm just going to be honest with you guys.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, yeah. We're not going to get into it today.
I am fairly.
I'm actually I'm a white-pilled person.
Yeah,
generally,
I'm fairly white-pilled on that subject, actually.
We need 7 figures. So true. Thanks, Nick Flip. I need those 7 figures. How do I monetize
and I'll
these
repeat
people?
what Jay says. Find a good priest. The bishops might be a little silly, but if there's a really good priest in, like, the Greek Archdiocese, which I know more than a few, go with them. Because until the bishops formally schism out, they still have valid sacraments, and their priests are still priests.
Correct.
Much for your kindness and generosity. So one of the major differences hit me off the bat. So I got there early because I looked up the time online, and I was like, oh, let me make sure I'm on time because I don't want to be that guy. And trust me, it's obvious who the visitor was. Like I did not blend in this place. So I get there early, and I go into the church because I was like,
he's wearing a hat and sunglasses.
Of any parishioner, obviously people work church there, but if any parishioner, I think I was the first car. So I go in, and there were like nobody greeted me, and that was kind of like a unique experience because normally, at the church I go to, like you're greeted before you even get in. If you get there on time, like there's gonna be a greeter outside. So that was a little different. Yeah, I had a very similar experience.
So, $5 from Ryan. Which Nikolai is your patron? Saint Tsar Nicholas II. I use the Russian way in which they say his name. That's how they baptized me, and that's how they pronounced it. So I've been called that ever since. Even though technically I could have gone by Nicholas,
There's lots of good Saint Nicholas.
Yes, but Saint Tsar Nicholas II is my patron saint.
Yeah.
Which is why I do not tolerate any Tsar Nicholas slander in my chat.
Do you want to know a fun fact?
What's up?
The cathedral in Seattle is named after St. Nicholas of Myra, but it's really named after Tsar Nicholas. Rocor didn't allow them to name it after Tsar Nicholas.
So in between, sorry, we gotta address this. They're literally in schism. They're not literally in schism. They are in, there is a mutual dispute. But a schism means that the rest of the church has decided to formally recognize it as a schism. They are in tangential communion still with one another. And then saying the ecumenist Sergianists, which again, it's just not true. The Russian church condemns Sergianism, by the way. Like, I don't even understand. Like, the accusation makes no sense. You're literally labeling them with the very synod that's condemned it. So I have no idea what you're talking about. And they're not ecumenist, by the way. The synod literally just came out and said that Islam is a false religion, and that to anyone who claims that we worship the same God as Muslims is a heretic. So I don't know what you're talking about when it comes to the Russians. And then for the ecumenist EP, no one denies that the EP has a streak of ecumenism or ecumenistic tendencies, and I'm not a big fan of some of the things they're doing, but they haven't actually capitulated any Orthodox doctrine, by the way. Just to like be clear, like they've met with the Pope a couple times, and not once has he capitulated any formal dogma from the Orthodox position. So, while I'm not a fan of what's going on with the EP, to say that they're ecumenist is a little bit too far of a stretch. I'm guessing you're true Orthodox or something like that, because that's the only reason why you'd be calling Father John Romanides Neo-Pelagian, which again you never defined. I don't remember you ever defining it, and yeah.
Grasping at straws. But above the entrance to the cathedral, they have an icon of the royal family at the cathedral in Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you send links in the chat? I think you can, but if you have a link, Geoschematics love to yap. They do love to yap, and they love to not attend church either, because most of them don't have any missions or parishes near them, because there's even fewer Geo, etc. parishes than there are canonical Orthodox churches. So, you know,
Astara, do you want to know a fun fact? The church is part of God's work through his humanity, through Christ's humanity.
Yeah, the church is literally
the
from
theanthropic
body, the God-man's body.
But I did try to speak to someone just to make sure like I was doing the right thing or that the liturgy was about to happen. And the person I spoke to didn't speak English. So they smiled.
What church did he go to? Does he even know what jurisdiction he went to? It could have been a very ethnic heavy church.
If he's in the South, like very few people not speak English in the South.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if this is. I mean, he could be lying. I mean, he could be. I'm not gonna assume he's lying, but like.
Well, and he's like, nobody greeted me. Nobody greeted me the first time I went to an Orthodox church.
No one greeted me either. They're all focused on their prayers and things like that. No, I think it's good practice.
It was the second time that I went that I got greeted.
Yeah, I think it's good practice. And also, by the way, not everybody knows everybody that goes to a church, especially if it's a larger church. Some people might assume that it's not your first time, right? Like, okay.
I and I was like, okay, and I just after that I just grabbed the seat. I was like, if somebody wanted to let me know something by now, they would have just let me know something. You know what I mean?
He grabbed a seat, so it could have been a Greek parish.
Greek.
Grab a seat screams OCA or Greek, but if it's OCA, they're going to speak English. So unless he chose the one Greek babushka or Russian babushka who attends that, you know what I mean?
Or it's one of those OCA parishes that does everything in Slavonic still.
Which is very rare.
Very rare.
Yeah. But even then, most people are still going to be. It doesn't matter. The point is that that's just kind of silly. So most likely Greek because pews.
Again, I didn't take it like personal. By the end of the service, at first I was like, "Rocky, you silly, bro. You silly, bro." But at the yeah. I mean, I ain't gonna blow no smoke. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna blow no smoke. But at the end of the service, like I figured out,
that's a disgusting thing to say. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The melanated will stand out. No. That is a disgusting, slanderous thing to say.
Honestly. No, I know. It's always like that's you know how they always go for that, especially these, no offense, colored brothers who are criticizing us, like JP and stuff like that. There's always this kind of subtle implication that that if you lack black people at your parish, that somehow that's like because there's some sort of like intuitive or like ingrained bias against them or something like that. Like no. There's always this subtle like implication about that. So if I go to a historic black church and I don't see any white people there, is that suddenly my melanation is going to be standing out amongst you? Come on. If I said that,
no, you'd call me racist.
Yeah.
No, and it's
here. I was like, what?
Do you want to know the fun thing is Greeks were considered non-whites for the longest time.
Yeah.
It's like
100. Let's see. I just want to make sure. So we haven't gotten any responses from In Between or Astra. Okay.
No.
Well, that's like, nobody's going to speak to me. But at the end of the service, I kind of put two and two together, which was, I don't think the service started on time. and I think that they were busy trying to get stuff ready, which is why they didn't like let me know something. I'm gonna give them grace. I'm not gonna say it was the largest parish in the world, but and I'm not gonna say they weren't welcoming. I'll get to that at the end of the service, right? But I just wanted to, man, Adam, is this a joke? This dude must be on something today. I don't know. But so I didn't really get grace.
Dude,
So I took a
like
seat.
this guy is very. It really irritates me. It's like focus.
No, he should
I
have gone for like 3 weeks before opening his mouth.
I don't know how your boy do. I sat in the back. Okay, I sat in the back. And, no, I'm being honest. Like I'm being honest. Like I'm not caping for nobody. I'm being honest. This is my experience. So I sat in the back like I always would. I'm gonna sit in the back. And then right when the service was, I guess, about to start, the liturgy, somebody brought me a book because the liturgy, for the most part, was in the native tongue of the jurisdiction. I would be far more forthcoming with information if folks on Twitter didn't weird me out. But so it's the native tongue of the jurisdiction, and so they had it in the native tongue and in English.
So it's either Russian or Greek, most likely. It could be Romanian or Serbian, but even they tend to be very.
Romanians. I don't know. Romanians are very friendly people.
Yeah, and same with the Serbians. They tend to be very welcoming. I don't know.
He probably
I
also
mean,
doesn't understand. There's a service going on before the service starts.
Yeah.
In the altar. Only
Yeah.
once have I gotten to a parish early, and the priest came out and asked me a question. Only once.
Yeah, you have to be pretty dang early. I had that happen once when I was like 30, 40 minutes in advance.
Well, it was Father Alexei at St. Nicholas Cathedral of blessed memory. I walked in, and he's like, "Are you American?" I'm like, "Yeah." Or he's like, "The English service is upstairs. You'll understand better up there." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I went up to the English service where St. John reposed, and that was nice.
I'm under the Russians, and the Russians do weekly confession, so I see my priest every week.
Yeah.
And so oftentimes what people don't realize too is that, especially if you're going to a Russian parish, you're probably there's probably an active line of people preparing themselves spiritually to do confession.
Yeah.
They're going to the icons, they're preparing themselves, they're doing those things.
You should have heard what Father Alexei said about the people who receive confession on the day of liturgy.
Oh, really? Does he not a fan of that?
He gave those who live an hour plus away or had made previous arrangements leeway. But he's like, if I saw you at Vespers last night and you didn't come to confession, you're not going to be able to come to confession this morning. Because you should have come last night.
The Russian parish has no choice but to do it the way we do it because most of the people are driving significant time.
No, and there was always leeway. There was leeway for me. I drove an hour and a half to church, so there was leeway for me to receive confession in the morning. So,
if priests really do, this is called Donatism.
This is Donatism. Boopity boop.
Name your heresy. We gotta. You know what I mean? We have to come up with like an AI generate.
Patrick.
We have to come up with a
Donatism.
heresy like song. That like a song where they sing it like in like this super happy fashion, like let's name your heresy, children, and then just like go through and.
That's Donatism, Patrick. The heresy that
Donatism, Patrick.
The heresy that the sins of the priest affect the effectiveness of the sacraments.
Does Jesus has the power to make to help anybody be protected from temptation, but he doesn't strip us of our free will. So the answer is, can Christ do it? Yes. Will Christ do it? No, not necessarily. Maybe.
I mean, we have saints who, through prayer and fasting, are protected from temptation, from certain temptations, but then they're given other temptations. Like St. Joseph the Hesychast, his initial temptation was anger. And when he got over anger, it was then lust.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Volpez says we need a Warhammer painting stream, sharing stream at some point.
When I get a camera set up, I will
You
show
know,
off some of my models.
you want to know what? You want to know what, guys? We'll do a Warhammer nerding out stream, but I gotta get those 6 figures first.
So you can afford an
So I
army.
can no offense, because I can't afford it otherwise. Because I gotta ship them from abroad so you think it's expensive just buying it from a store or online. Imagine having to ship it to Korea, because there's literally no Korean Warhammer stores here.
No, you'd probably actually be better off buying a ticket to Japan
Probably,
and
yeah.
buying it in Japan.
There's actually no scratch that. There is one that sells like kill teams, and it's right next to the military base. But that's catering to military guys, obviously.
So it's probably jacked up prices and
Oh yeah.
yeah, you'd probably be better off going to Japan.
Still probably would be better off. Yeah, if I actually wanted to like build out an entire kill team, 100%.
No, a kill team is a box of models nowadays. You
Yeah.
buy one box and it's a whole kill team.
No, that's what I'm saying. But you'd have to at least like if I wanted to play with someone, particularly my family,
Yeah, you have
or
to
anybody I know, I'd have to have at least 2 or 3 sets,
Yeah.
just so that there's some options, you know.
And most of the liturgy was in the native tongue. So, you know, you go through, I think it started with the liturgy of John Chrysostom, if I remember correctly. And then they did, I think, another liturgy. So then the next thing that happened, like the guy, but when I say guy, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. You know, I don't know all the titles off the top of my head. So forgive me if I say like the guy or the person or whatever, because some people always try to run with like some narrative.
I'll give it
to.
Why does he have to prefer? Why is he preferencing everything? I'm not trying to be this. I'm not trying to be that. I'm just saying this. I'm just saying that. It's like, dude, just say what you're gonna say, and then you can do some preferences at the end. Like, seriously.
I mean, it took me 3 months to stop calling Father Panzalema pastor.
Yeah, I never did. We never did pastor or anything like that.
Well, he turned around and told me, it's like to my face, it's like, I'm not a pastor. The bishop is the pastor. I'm just a priest. So that was the end of that.
Guy's title is.
Well, it takes
I
once.
know he wasn't the priest.
Only
he came out and he was putting all the incense in the air. That was like interesting. They were shaking it with
probably
the
like, deacon.
I don't know if they had like some kind of bells or something on the incense thing, but as he was shaking it, it was like making this noise.
Yeah, and 12 bells for the 12 apostles.
It was unique. And while this is going on, you know, you had some people coming in late or whatever. I mean, and then they were venerating the icons. Like, I ain't gonna tell y'all no lie. Every time I saw icon veneration, your boy was just weirded out. Okay, I can't front to y'all. I can't like that was like a very negative experience for me. You know what I'm saying? Very negative experience for me.
Okay, he should stop kissing his wife.
Yeah.
He should stop kissing his mom. Because you're venerating an icon when you do that. When you do that, lad, you're venerating an icon.
So true. We can all know Jesus if we want. Yes, come to the Orthodox Church.
Yes, you should come to the Orthodox Church where we actually worship Christ, and not to any other church where they worship fake Christ that cannot save you.
Someone said, okay, my arguments were destroyed, GG. Well, I'm glad that you are going to become Orthodox now.
Yeah, you should become Orthodox. Sunday will be a beautiful day, because we'll do liturgy and then Vespers, right after the other.
I'm not talking about removing free will. I'm talking about certain people receiving special graces. Yeah, I mean, that happens, but you shouldn't presuppose that.
Yeah, we don't think that priests... It's actually to our benefit that priests don't have those protections.
Yeah, because they can relate.
It's to our benefit.
Yeah. All right, let's continue.
I was like, what is... I mean, multiple icons are being kissed by the same person. Just your boy, just you know what I'm saying? Just no. The deacon. Thank you.
Germaphobe.
The deacon. Appreciate you. Again, I don't want to say the wrong thing. All right, look, no matter what I do, I can't win. They'll say I'm trying to be disrespectful when I was. I say I don't know. Yo, are you feeling okay today? You just really want to disrupt the chat today with your heresy, I guess. I don't know. I'll be praying for you, but you definitely, you know, clearly aren't reading your Bible because you would know better than such a crazy statement. Okay, so yes, exactly. So the one thing I did, so they kept doing that, and then I noticed some things. Yes.
But in the church, I would rather speak 5 intelligible words to instruct others than 10,000 words in a tongue.
Actually, he has a point.
He does, but again, you're also like a parish is also meant to feed the flock that attend the parish. That means that if there are ethnic people that maybe don't have good command of English, you have to cater to them as well. You can't just cater to converts. No offense to the converts in the chat. You know,
language is a pastoral issue.
Yes.
Exactly. So the one thing I did, so they kept doing that, and then I noticed some things as they came out with the deacons, and I don't know what the other people call it, whether it's the Catechumen or whoever came out as well, and they walked around. At one point, they were holding up one of the most decorative, I'm assuming, Bibles I've ever seen. And then they kissed the Bible.
It's the
And at one point,
Gospels.
again, apologies, I would love to tell you.
It'd be the 4 Gospels, right? Yeah, if
Yeah,
memory serves.
it's the 4 Gospels, and they're either arranged in order or I've actually seen one that was arranged in order of the year, so all of the readings were in order for the whole year.
Yeah, I have seen that too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Each
and
point
then in the back
you
there
gotta
were
remember,
readings for special
was
occasions.
not in my language for the most part. So then they that's a good question, Brother Steve. I didn't see him at the parish I was at, but you never can tell.
Subsister says, not gonna lie, Orthodox Church is a bit intimidating to me as a non-believer. Actually, it should be the least intimidating because actually you have the least amount of baggage. See, that's the thing that you don't realize is that actually people that are non-believers or come from a very non-Christian background, they tend to have the least amount of theological baggage that they have to unlearn. So actually, you're in a better place to embrace Orthodoxy much better and more cleanly than a lot of other people. So that's actually something that I would say.
Father of priests I know said, and it's much easier to convert like Buddhists and atheists because they have lots of things in their heads that just aren't true, but they have nothing to do with what you're working with. Unlike Protestants.
So I don't know why the goal is not increasing despite having gotten super chats on.
That was happening in Clee's stream too. I think that's something on YouTube's end.
It's YouTube's end. Okay, just wanted to make sure. It's not a big deal. The goal is more of a joke, anyways, because I'm ribbing at Ruslan. So, if you're 100% sure that you're saved, since God said that you directly are a prophet, you should start a rap church, dog. So true. You can get some 7 figures. It's God ordained.
You don't have the authority to start your own church? What? You couldn't have told us that. So go now. You have to be Orthodox.
Go be Orthodox.
Go be Orthodox.
So then okay, let's just call it the next point. The I don't want to say altar boys. I don't know if they're catechumen. Somebody else will tell me in the chat what their name is for the younger people in garbs.
Altar servers.
They'll tell me, and I'll call them what they're supposed to be called.
Acolytes.
I'm just calling them the young gentlemen or the catechumen. I don't know what they were.
Or acolytes.
They came out and they read the Bible. Now the funny thing is they read.
Oh, then the reader
Acts
probably
28 to 35. Now,
yeah, that was the reader did that.
So they were altar boys. Okay, thank you. So the altar boys read Acts 20, chapter 20, verses 28 to 35. Now, the reason I know they read Acts 20, 28 to 35 is because my ear heard the scripture. They read them in English, but I'm saying I recognized the scripture. They never announced what they were reading, which was weird to me.
No, that's a lie.
From the Bible.
That's a lie.
They're going to announce.
They would have said the
liturgy.
The reading is from the book of Acts. Or the reading is from the Acts of the Apostles.
Yeah. It's just not paying attention.
And I actually know.
And it's fine. Again, that's fine because it's.
This was like 2 weeks ago. This was 2 weeks ago. This was Sunday of the Blind Man. He's talking about. Is where that passage is read. Because I read it.
All glory to our Lord and Savior, because I love to read his word. And so I was like, oh, they're reading Acts 20, 28 to 35. I wanted to pull out my Bible because mine is always with me. And like nobody else did. And like for me, that's one of those weird out moments where for the reading of God's word, I love to have my Bible in my hands.
No.
As somebody.
A lot of people will have Bibles. Not everyone. I don't have a Bible when I'm standing there for however many hours.
I have a Bible when we read the epistle.
Yeah, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But
because I'm reading the epistle. That was a joke, Nikolai.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. But the point is that a lot of people. What is the meaningful difference between me listening and absorbing the words and me reading the words and maybe not actually paying attention?
Well, let's go back to when people were mostly illiterate. Most of these people would only know the scriptures via the reader and the priest.
Yeah.
Unless they were actively receiving instruction at some point.
Yeah.
Nobody else is reading it. And so nobody else, I think we're all standing. And nobody's pulling out a Bible, nobody has a Bible. And so it was just weird. It was just weird. So I was like, all right. So then they go through some more, I believe, liturgies. They read the Nicene Creed. Adam, please stop spamming my chat. They read the Nicene Creed. That was read in English, by the way, as well.
Yeah.
And then at another point in the liturgy, they read John 17, chapter 17, verses 1 to 12. Now, at that point, they said they were reading from John. I just recognized where they were in John. I was like, oh, okay, they're reading John 17. Like, I know where we are. Okay. Because they never said it.
So maybe the EO don't have a Bible since they can't agree. We all agree on the contents of the Bible. The difference is that some have we have different tiers of scripture. And so, for example, sometimes in the deuterocanonical books, some will take something that's in the third tier and pump it up to the second tier, or vice versa. But they all agree that they're good and ought to be read. But remember, there is no question as to the first tier. All of us agree on the first tier when it comes to orthodoxy. All of us. So.
Yeah, and they wouldn't have said the Nicene Creed in between the Gospel and the Epistle.
Moses Orthobro, he wants to talk about black people in church. Oh no, he just quit.
No,
Moses,
come back.
You can talk. I just saw you and you just quit right before.
Come back. Yeah.
It's fine.
Adam Lopez, like a 10-minute. Like, I'm happy to debate you some other time, Adam. Like, I'm here for you, man. Just hit him with that 10-minute right quick for me. All right, so I was sitting there and I was like, okay, let me listen, I'm picking up where they are. Okay. I was like, all right, cool. So then they do some other like walk around thing, I guess, or something like that. I don't know. Like, again, I don't want to be rude to what things are actually called, but it's hard when it's not in your native tongue. So they did some other stuff. They did some candlelight vigils. They did a prayer, which was interesting. The thing I didn't note from the prayer before the Eucharist was in the prayer of the church I was at, the Eucharist was to forgive sins in their church as well. So I was like, okay, cool. I was just trying to take, some mental note of things. And I was like, wow. So then in the Eastern Orthodox Church, when they give the Eucharist, they have like a spoon. Now, I don't know if they mix the Eucharist in the wine or what. I was looking for like the bread and the wine.
Okay, first off. Yes, the bread is put into a goblet of wine. It absorbs the wine, and then it's consecrated. That's kind of my theory is that the reason this is just, again, I'm being facetious here. The reason the liturgy is so long is they have to pad out the time it takes for the priest to actually cut it up into small dices and let it get all absorbed with the wine. So I know different churches do it slightly differently. Ours, they dice it up.
Yeah, that's the more Russian thing to do.
Yeah.
The Greek thing to do is the lamb is kind of half split into four, and it's dropped all the way in, and then the priest cuts it with the spoon. As
yeah. The Russian way is like shing shing shing.
Oh, it takes forever. We actually the bishop did a whole homily while Father was preparing communion once.
Yeah.
I didn't understand what it was because it was all in Russian, but
it does. It takes a long time. That's one of the reasons the Russian church actually tends to have a little bit of a longer liturgy, is because the way they do that.
That's also kind of why they move. They're allowed to. This is something that's in the liturgics for St. John Chrysostom, to have the homily at the end. It's allowed. A lot of Russian churches will have the homily at the end.
Moses.
Hey, Moses.
Black people. You're live, by the way. You can speak. In the meantime, we'll play this.
And oh, my bad. So the priest, this was in the little thing I had, because they had it. Remember, I told you native tongue in English, where the priest, the priest took the Eucharist with the doors closed and the curtain down. Please just give Adam a 10-minute, somebody. I don't hate you, but I don't have time. I don't want to detract from what I'm doing right now. So that's what I thought, router. This is what I thought. That's what I thought. That's my brain kind of assumed that, right? But the priest takes the Eucharist with the veil down and the doors closed. All right. So then they sing. By the way, I want to highlight something. The female chanters they had, I believe that's what you call them in the Eastern Orthodox Church. They had very beautiful voices. I want to highlight that. Very beautiful voice. But then the priest takes it more. The reason I'm not saying the jurisdiction is because Twitter has weirded me out. I'll show you what I mean.
Greek. So he did say Greek. He did let that slip.
Yeah.
Moses, what's up?
We can hear you.
Mike, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Cool. What's up, guys?
Not
Not
much. We're
much.
just hanging out.
Just
Yeah,
listening
you
to
guys are
this
talking
guy.
about my people. My
Uh,
peoples.
Your BIPOC queen, Jay Dyer, and you.
The melanated.
Oh yeah.
The melanated.
Yeah, that's Pope J. Dyer, by the way.
Pope, sorry.
I mean,
Pope.
I'm
Pope.
quarter Mexican, so I don't know.
Okay. That's
Seems
close.
like a contradiction. How can one be a BIPOC queen and a pope? But that's fine.
Yeah.
We'll just accept it.
Hey. What are you, an ortho, bro? You trying to make sense of things? Come on now. That's just crazy. Is
yeah,
my
man.
camera not registering, or can you?
No,
did I set it up wrong?
You're in caller. You're not in.
Yeah, you're in
Oh.
caller. You're
Okay,
in caller queue.
I've been tripping. I was like, what's going on?
Because I have the caller queue, but I can also send a panel link. The reason I don't do like just people can call into panels anymore is because I've had too many people flash inappropriate stuff on streams that I have to take down then. So
seriously?
Yeah, I've had like it 3 different times now where somebody like luckily one guy did it while they were still in the backstage, started flashing me like graphic homosexual pornography. So
what?
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I'm like, man, these people are degenerates. You know.
Sounds like sounds like a Protestant.
Wait, JP squirmed out of the debate?
Huh?
What? Already? It was just announced.
Wait, JP, where?
That angry
He
Protestant?
squirmed out, the angry Protestant? He squirmed out of the debate? Okay, so Paleo QuaishCon will be hosting a debate between myself and JP UNCUT on Tuesday, May 26th. Point at issue is the invocation and intercession of departed saints of apostolic origin and established in the early pre-Nicene church.
It's pre-apostolic.
W. Andrew coming in clutch. What a stupid prompt. JT, well, he meant JP. JP is so stupid. I bet he tells Grok thank you after every search. Total Ortho Bro victory. Well, he conceded half the prompt here, which is true.
And so if we run into the
right there, there's a switch of hands. Sleight of hands, I would say. So the sleight of hands is, yes, it is true they collected Polycarp's bones, but there is no evidence that they prayed to the bones. They venerated the bones. So veneration.
No one's praying to the bones. They're using the bones as a means of veneration. And veneration is like, what do you think you do when you venerate? You're praying to that person as you venerate those bones. Oh my gosh. So he already conceded that. JP hearing Alex's opening statement.
He already conceded though? Like he backed out?
I'm trying to see if he already backed out. I'm sure Alex would have it on his timeline. So let's pull up Alex. If
No,
JP...
Alex is on a date with his wife right now.
Is he?
Yeah. I'll see you
How
in
you
October.
know that?
He's already running.
It's eerie.
Well, maybe not. I guess Alex wants to do 2 debates on the exact same topic, exact same format.
I thought Alex was gonna debate that Kelly guy, the one who called us cultists.
So this is what's happening. I've agreed to debate Alex on his platform informally. Okay, on Tuesday. Andrew Milson will moderate informally. It'll be the same terms we agreed to for modern day debate. Wait a minute. You need to hide behind a PDF for 15 minutes, then hide behind another time period. So wait, now formal debates are hiding.
Yeah.
Oh, these guys are so insufferable. Are these the same?
Is that a plank, or are they just dishonest on purpose? Like, what is that?
They're just dishonest. I mean, that entire crew is just dishonest.
Okay.
They're just all dishonest. It's ridiculous. Let's see here.
Well, let's go to Moses' point. Actually, that would be much less headache-inducing than whatever this is gonna be.
Moses, did you have something specific you wanted to bring up?
Yeah, my peoples, bro. Like, I heard you talking about black people. I know actually 4 people in church that are black.
Yeah,
and every male is actually their patron saint is Saint Moses the Black.
I know a Mexican guy. I know a Mexican guy who's patron saint was Saint Moses the Black, and he was baptized like 2 days ago.
It's always Saint Moses the Black or Caleb of Axiom, but I've always been slightly hesitant to call Saint Caleb or Caleb of Axiom a saint because I don't think he's on any of our. Is he on any of our calendars?
He
Because
is
as
not.
far as I'm
He is
concerned,
not on any of the Synaxarians. What priests are allowing people to do is take Caleb, but it's actually after Caleb, the righteous Caleb, who went in with Joshua, who was actually an Egyptian. He was not an Israelite. He was an Egyptian.
Oh, okay.
Was he even
yeah,
black?
but listen.
Depends. Here's the thing. At that time in Egypt, there was actually a lot of racial diversity.
Yes,
So
that is true.
it is very possible that righteous Caleb was black because he did leave Egypt with the Israelites. So he probably wasn't like high class.
So no, probably not.
Yeah. The first black guy I met in an Orthodox church picked Saint Nectarios.
There is a non-zero percent chance. Let's put it that way. But I know for a long time there were people trying to argue that Caleb of Axiom, because he had a temporary alliance with the Byzantine Empire and helped them with some problems they had with some
if we're gonna consider
Jewish kingdoms.
If we're gonna consider temporary alliances as like full communion, these guys are perfectly Orthodox. We have to consider all of the Crusaders who like murdered Orthodox Christians.
So Alex says here, in lieu of the MMD debate, we're not about to debate the same thing twice. I'm not about to let you get your informal shouting match here and then chicken out again later and not do MMD. We'll do this the proper way, equal time. Each of us gets to set out our case. Yeah, I think that's totally fair. I don't understand what.
Did Alex like his own post? Is there a way to check that?
Oh, he did back out. Okay.
Andrew, I'm still waiting to have the discussion with someone else. If you find someone else. And then how am I running? Since you do not want to have an open 90-minute moderated dialogue. So he's changing the terms. Yeah. He's like, well, we'll just do one in MMD on October. Why would we wait 4.5 freaking months to do a debate?
To be honest,
when you could just do it tomorrow.
My roommate is waiting 4.5 months to get married. So.
No, yeah.
Come on now.
Come on now. Come on now. No, this is clearly him running.
Is JP even popular? I barely heard of him last week.
No, he has less Twitter followers than Nikolai.
Who?
JP. He has less Twitter followers than you do.
Yeah, he has like 900.
What? And he's demanding from Alex Soren, the Patriarch of Canada. Okay.
No, Alex can't be a priest. He's a lawyer. That's against the rules.
True, it's pure evil. I forget.
Yeah.
Listen, they originally thought that the MMD debate was going to happen in a few weeks, but apparently MMD is booked out till October, which, by the way, makes no sense. Sorry, no offense, MMD. You guys need to do better. There's like no reason that you get. How are you guys?
They have a lot of low tier debates on their schedule.
Yeah.
So speaking of low tier, Nick, I do have a question. I know you know these people. You've heard of Elton. He's a Protestant. He has open calls a lot.
Alton Johnson? Yeah.
Yeah, he called in here and tried to race bait us, not knowing that I'm Mexican.
What is your opinion on him? Is he pure dishonest? I see he's actually linked with Christian King. I see Christian King as a moderator of the chat.
Anyone connected to Christian King, in my opinion, is dubious at best. Dubious at best.
We told Alton to go talk to
clergy.
Justin Menard. Justin Menard, who's a real G. Like
he's good.
Or Sacred Life, who is coming from a similar background to him.
He's getting married to a black woman.
Yeah. So he's really
he's black.
He's black. You can't tell me otherwise. Black by proxy, because they become one flesh.
So
it's the same thing. Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna make some people mad with that
So
one.
wait. Are you telling me I'm Asian by proxy?
Yeah,
Yes.
you're one flesh with your wife.
So true.
You're no longer white. Sorry to
Yeah,
say.
and your wife is
Wait,
no
but
longer Asian.
she's white. Got it.
She's
I'll have to
white
tell my
and
wife.
you're Asian.
I will tell her
You're
that.
Asian. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
I'm gonna make
Oh,
so many people mad with that.
yeah. There's some race realists that might get a little bit upset by that.
I'm a real race realist. If you
Yeah, I just got out of a open call with that Alton guy. He was disrespecting saints, Saint Christopher. Totally, you could tell he knows the reality of the situation, but he was totally talking smack about how we believe in a dog-headed race of people. There's no proof that Saint Christopher was a real living person. And I went on there like, excuse me. And I tried to challenge his, like, if you believe Matthew was written by Matthew, then the same source says Saint Christopher was real. And he was just so dishonest. I couldn't believe it. And you're basically confirming, like, I have wasted my time even attempting to talk to someone like that, you know?
Yeah, listen, when it comes to Alton or any of those guys, here's the reality of the situation. Alton was given every opportunity while he was on our stream to ask about anything about Orthodox theology. Instead, he chose to just whine about how there's a few racist people who say naughty words on X. And it's like, yeah, but it's like, okay, but what's your actual argument? Because I can make the same case against there's all sorts of Protestant groups that have people that say ridiculous things, right? So Alex, yeah, it looks like they totally backed out 3 minutes ago. It looks like their back and forth is probably not going to happen. You never said informal on the Crucible until after I accepted. What actually has happened, you said you didn't want to wait until October. Andrew said that you don't have to wait, that he would host instead. We both agreed. I make a post. You make a post for the first time saying informal, yes, and that's 100% true. Like, what? There's no way to get around that. That's exactly what happened. Why would I do two to... I legitimately think these guys are brain dead stupid.
Yeah, they are.
Well, that's why I was asking. Is it dishonesty or retardism? You know?
It has to be. How?
If you want to be baptized Christopher, go for it. Even if Saint Christopher isn't real, which I believe he is, Christopher is still such a good name because it's another term for God bearer, and that's what we should all aspire to be. We should truly bear God.
But bro, we have 1,700 years of church tradition saying he's real.
I know he's real.
You know what I'm saying? That's the problem.
Even if he wasn't, Christopher is a very good name.
True. They were saying the same thing about Saint Mary of Egypt. They were started insulting me like, oh, what about the two gay guys that are saying? So I'm like, oh,
by the way,
goodness.
Dude, James White even recently said that there's a lot of scholarship that makes the existence of Saint Ignatius dubious.
That scholarship is from the 90s. James White is just stuck in the 90s.
Correct. And well, but that's the point. Is it like if we rely on modern day scholarship to determine the truth of something, then there's all sorts of things we have to throw out from the Christian tradition. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous standard. So,
do you know what he said when I asked him how he knows the book of Matthew was written by Matthew? And he repeated
Did he
it
just
like
say it was
10 times.
written? Did he just say it was written? It says Matthew on the title.
Basically, all he said was because I believe that God protected his word and gave it to us divinely. I'm like, yeah, that's not answering how you know it's Matthew, though. He just repeated it a bunch of times.
Because it never says that it's written by Matthew.
At no point does it say that.
Just pure obfuscation and deflection, and then started projecting on me that I'm not answering questions. And I was like, all right, bro. Sorry, derailing.
Remember when I debated Jerry Maddox? Yeah, that's what he says every single time he loses a Catholic debate. He lost against Shameless Popery, who is not even that good of a debater, to be honest.
Yeah. No, shameless popery is... Joel Heschmeyer is an abysmal debater.
He's a smart guy, but he's a horrible debater. He's a nice guy. I've never had a bad interaction with Joe.
Dude, it's called get on a freaking computer. I don't understand. Dude, it's called a computer. I don't have a computer. Okay, I don't know what to tell you about that then.
Use your phone.
No, you can't.
Nikolai's a smart young man. I'm not that young. Like, I know I look young, but
Nikolai's older than I am.
I'm 32.
If you're not a young man anymore, Nikolai, you're an elderly man, according to St.
So I'm a boomer.
Yeah. As soon as you turn 30, you're eligible to be a deacon. So, actually, no, you can be a deacon at 25.
I was photos and but then I was like, you know what, man? Never mind. You're just gonna have to get my face in a square, and I'll show some stuff from Twitter. Like that's why I'm not telling the exact jurisdiction. Anybody who knows me on the side, I'll tell you. Like if I know who you are, I'll tell you far more details, but not in the stream. After what I've experienced on Twitter, I'm being a bad faith actor before I even talk about the experience. So then they
no, it's because of your previous
I've been
behavior.
To places where it's kind of different, but I'll get to that another time. But like I've been to some places that's kind of different. But
no,
in the wine, and they put it like a spoon, and they'll hold like the deacon, and one of the altar boys would hold up this like napkin, and they would put it up under you like this or like this, and then some people like dug down and lean back, and they would put the spoon put it in your mouth or whatever. And I was just watching, you know what I mean? And they had like a thing they would like to. And
if he had tried to go up there, do you think? Because I've seen people try and do that when they're visiting because they don't know any better, and it's always like an awkward moment. It's the worst.
Actually the only priests who have asked me if I'm baptized have been Greek priests.
I did get asked one time by an Antiochian in Florida, and I just said, yeah, I was baptized under the Moscow Patriarchate in Korea. I'm here visiting, and
I usually try to make that clear before service if possible.
I talked to like 3 or 4 people, and they said just go up and let the priest know. I'm like, okay.
I'll snag a deacon when he pokes his head out and say, hey, I was baptized here. I don't know if you're going to be involved in the reception of communion or anything, but yeah, only once have I been asked.
Won't let that. Yeah,
only once.
Just tell them at the. That's crazy.
Well, yeah, only once have I been asked at the chalice. Only once. So.
Yeah,
I ROCOR, you have to confess though at that parish. Is that correct?
ROCOR, they want you. If you're visiting, they want you to be at least in good standing with your priest. If you're there regularly, they want you to receive confession every 2 weeks.
For the Moscow Patriarchate that I'm under, they will make sometimes exceptions to the rule for some people, but for the most part, everybody is going to confession every week.
Yeah.
So.
Can you loophole that? Like, let's say can I write an email to said Moscow or ROCOR priest, right, from my Antiochian jurisdiction and say, hey, I'm going to be out there in about 5 days. Can I confess with my priest here and that confession count?
Yeah, I mean, you just talk to your priest about it. Yeah.
Yeah, they would probably say as long as your priest knows that you're here.
Yeah.
Right. Because my Antiochian priests down here, I have 2 at my parish. They have both said the same thing. Like, we don't want you confessing within a ROCOR parish or Moscow parish right now, because we don't know enough, is what they'll say. So the only way we could is if we get an approval in that loophole.
Well, and you shouldn't be going around confessing with other priests anyway. You should be confessing with maybe 2 priests at the most.
Yeah, and you shouldn't confess. When I went to visit
and those 2 priests should be at your parish.
When I went to ROCOR, I had let the clergy know in advance I was going to be there, and I was going to be there for 3 days. And so they said, well, go to Vespers tonight, meet us, because we're going to talk about a bunch of different things. This is meet us tonight at Vespers, and then after that, we'll get everything else taken care of, So I was like, okay. So I went to Vespers, and then they had me confess there, and then the following day at liturgy in the morning, I got to commune.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just talk to them in advance typically.
Yeah,
and
don't be weird.
They'll tell you what they expect. Yeah.
Yeah, most ROCOR parishes expect you to at least have confessed within the last 2 weeks, if you're visiting. So
Right
if you've confessed in the last 2 weeks and you're like, or if you know you're making the trip, confess before your trip, because you should be doing that anyway. If you're doing a long distance trip anywhere, confession is not the worst thing to do.
No, it's a good idea to do it and let them know.
Yeah.
Also pray to Saint Christopher, who is
Yes,
make believe and
pray,
has a dog head.
Pray to Saint Christopher. Pray to Saint Nicholas.
Mm-hmm.
Pray to Saint Raphael of Brooklyn if you're traveling by train. He's the patron saint of those who travel by train.
Yeah. All right, guys. Let's see what he has to say here.
So I watched that. Then the priest gave the homily. And guys, I'm gonna tell you right now. All right, the biggest shock of the whole thing happened when the priest was giving his homily. Now he did say he was gonna give the homily in English to start, and then he goes into the native tongue. So I had to sit there for a minute, and it was interesting. Priest is watching mouth. I'm just watch your mouth. I'm just kidding. So then priest goes into the homiletic. Altar servers. Okay, no problem. Hey, look, no problem. I'm just letting you represent it because I told you I don't know what the proper title is, and it wasn't like I could sit there and ask him 57 million questions after the service. So no worries. But if I'm wrong, I mean, your people wrong for the internet try to clip your boy. See, I'm getting it from your boy out here. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm not even going there. So then he gave his homily in the native tongue, and then after that, he gave it in English. And y'all wouldn't believe what he said. Hold on a second. I've been to a mosque. What are you talking about? I went to a mosque seeking share truth. We went in and we watched Usama Dak Dog do his thing. I've been to a mosque too. Yeah. But I'm not going frequently though, unless I'm evangelizing. You know what I'm saying? Went to an EO church and remind you, crooked candles placed on dirt and wall when you walked in. Everyone was either standing or kneeling because it was up there. Wow. Okay. Yes, I'll tell you the jurisdiction if you're curious too, Steve. But yeah, so they're known as.
We all know it's Greek.
The altar service.
He's already gave it away.
I just don't want to be wrong, be disrespectful or rude. So then, so we got through the Eucharist. There's the homily. I'm talking about the homily. So then the homily, as I said, this is the most shocking portion of the homily. So they discussed John 9, but they didn't read John 9. So that was like weird for me. And again, I'm like super serious about the reading of God's word. You know what I mean? And the fact that nobody has a Bible is like super weird to me. Like I will never be able to shake that. Never.
Most of them have it memorized.
Like nobody's pulling out their Bibles. I can't get down with that. That it doesn't mean it wasn't read, but like I'm built different. But these homilies on John 9. I can't remember exactly what verses. I don't know why I want to say 1 to 12. But so then they start discussing how things would work out. They talk about the true faith, and they brought up a saint, right? But here was the shocking moment. Now listen, guys.
Oh, God, Lord, get to it.
Because this was the most unexpected.
Guys,
this was the shocking moment. This was the
3 minutes. 3 minutes saying that it was shocking.
Moment.
That's how black people talk, bro.
Oh,
don't be racist, Moses.
What I'm about to tell you, I have to be dead serious too. It actually was stunning. What I'm about to tell you, I'm not being funny nor coy. I had no idea this was about to be said. So at the end of the homily, the priest said to all the parishioners in there, "You need to read your Bible every day." He said you need to read your Bible every
day. Every priest I know
says that. Everyone. Everybody.
I've never met a priest who says don't read your Bible.
Yes.
Now, if you have questions, you shouldn't be going off and getting exegesis from Protestants. You shouldn't be going off and like thinking about it on your own. You should be going to wiser people than you. You should be going to your deacons.
You know how he makes that he uses a meme to make it seem like it's shocking? It's so annoying.
It's not shocking.
I was mad I wasn't recording. I'm mad I wasn't recording. I'm telling y'all, of all the things that the priest could have said, I wasn't expecting that one.
Why weren't you expecting it?
Like, not expecting that one.
What is
no hate?
We have been telling these goobers that we are expected to read our Bibles and do the daily readings. Does he not realize there's daily readings for us?
He just doesn't believe it.
It's just like, good Lord. So this is exactly why we say you're not good faith. Because you've been analyzing orthodoxy. Dude, look at his buddy Christian King, where he has been a part of these things for an extended period of time. Hold on, let me bring it up.
Yeah, you're right, Toothface, that the focus of the liturgy is worship, not reading your Bible. You are correct on that one.
Correct. So right here, his buddy Christian King has had refuting orthodoxy 4 hours, 8 hours, Catholic and Orthodox, 11 hours, 3
Man.
hours, 6 hours, 6 hours, 9 hours, 11, 1 hour with Counterdox versus Need God.
That's 12 hours.
Yes.
Together,
And
that's
by
12
the way,
hours.
last 2 weeks, 8 hours, 4 hours, exposing Eastern Orthodox with the zombie PFP of an Orthodox priest, or at least what they're trying to LARP as an Orthodox priest.
I've been on a couple of those with him, and he's never there. It's always like a bunch of
Wait, when
random
did
people.
Alex Soren debate Jess?
Oh.
Who's Jess?
I know that one.
Where-
I'll post that one in the chat.
Where was that?
It's funny.
No, I'll watch it. We can review that. I've never seen it, but 2 weeks ago. So HHS is almost always in these discords. He's almost always in these Discord calls. He's almost always streaming alongside Christian King and all these other things. The fact that he has never been informed of these things, he's a liar. He's lying. He's making it out to be something that it's not. It's a complete and total lie.
It's in the Rumble chat.
Yeah, I got it.
It's like the Protestant Dawa boys, you know?
Okay. I need to find the surah that it says you should only you Christians and Jews should only follow the books.
Oh, Jess.
Yeah.
Oh, I debated her, by the way.
Yeah, everybody did, and it was
years
bad.
ago.
Uh-oh.
Almost 2 years ago, I debated her, and she posted it on her channel and then removed it because it was so embarrassing for her.
Yeah, no, Sola Scriptura is Islamic. You can clip that. You can clip me saying that. Reader Raphael of the Antiochian Archdiocese, Sola Scriptura is Islamic.
Yes. His
Is there
streams
chat
are
on
as
that
long as,
thing?
but the thing is his streams are as long as Alex's, or longer actually. And the difference is that Alex streams maybe once a week, maybe twice a week, if he's like
Yeah,
on a really
Alex
busy.
has a real job.
Christian King doesn't seem to do anything besides that. So that's all I'm going to say about that.
I highlighted the whole thing for me was the dude said you need to read your Bible every day, and he said that is how did he say it? That is given from the Holy Spirit. That is living water. Read your Bible. I was like, yo, what just happened? What just happened? Hold on one second. I'm lying. This is a super chat, by the way. I'm lying. The verse is always read before the homily. Now, guys, I want all you guys in the chat to see what I deal with. What is my incentive to lie? What's my incentive?
Or maybe you didn't pay attention, you didn't listen, but you said, well, they didn't say the verse. Well, maybe you weren't paying attention. I don't know. Like,
most of the guests I bring, they don't notice that they chant the verses when they read it. They don't understand that's how we read it aloud.
Yeah, the only time you'll have a plain reading of the epistles or gospels is if a layman is reading the epistles, or if a reader is reading the gospels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the filth, it does not look like. I knew JP would find a reason to back out. I'll see you in October. JP was the one who literally said, I don't want to wait till October. And then, literally, Paleo ChristCon. Let's go here. 2 hours ago. Still good for Wednesday, by the way. 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. Eastern for our convo, probably. Alex and I initially agreed June 10th. I'm down to negotiate an earlier date. Tag him and see if we can do it tomorrow. Let's get it done. Did he do that? 2 hours ago? June 10th works for me. I'm not waiting until the 10th for what? Just join the stream tomorrow and debate, both of you. And by the way, Andrew would be an absolutely fair debate.
Yeah, he's pretty good at it.
No, Andrew is a good moderator. I think Andrew can moderate a debate between a Muslim and a feminist and still be fair.
Yes.
Actually,
you know not fair.
We should tag Andrew now and tell him he should he should prove how fair of a moderator he is, and have a Muslim and a Muslim and a feminist debate on his channel and moderate it.
I'd watch that for sure.
Tuesday, I work tomorrow. That works. Tuesday, I work tomorrow. Okay, so he agrees.
Wait, he's working on Memorial Day? What?
Okay, it seems like the debate between Alex and I has been pushed to October. I cannot wait nearly that long. What does he say? I cannot wait nearly that long. We can have Cleave to Antiquity, the Zest Master himself, moderate on his channel, and I'll cook Alex live there on the prompt we agreed. Then do a second debate on MDD. Why would you do two debates? Why?
I mean,
So
Alex should just cook him on ecclesiology.
And then which is fine. I want to cook him now. I'll host on the Crucible. It's 10 times the viewers of MDD anyways. Let's make it happen. Tomorrow, Alex and I'm down to negotiate an earlier date. Tag him and let's see if we can do it tomorrow. Let's get it done. And he says, Alex, let's get it set up for Tuesday. Tuesday I work. Tuesday I work tomorrow. That works. He agrees. This is 2 hours ago. Tomorrow ain't Tuesday. Tomorrow is Monday. Yes, but it doesn't matter. I think they're just.
I hope he's getting paid extra for working on Memorial Day.
Still good to go for Wednesday, by the way, at 8 p.m., 9 p.m. So they're having a separate convo, like a completely separate thing. So what does Alex do? We'll go here. Alex goes.
He didn't. There's a whole email conversation.
I assumed the format. Geez, I wonder why. On the prompt, we agreed. Why is an informal debate? Because informal debates are chaotic and messy. That's why. Alex has been prepping an opening statement. At the very minimum, they should say, listen, we'll have an opening statement, then an open thing, right? But the thing is Alex likes cross-exam because he's a lawyer. He knows how to do cross-exams very well, right?
But he has a video on his YouTube channel on how to do cross-exams.
That was a good one.
Wait, you thought that because we have a different moderator that you'd get to unilaterally choose the rules without any negotiation? I can't believe this is the caliber of people I'm dealing with. JP, do you honestly not see how goofy that sounds? I agreed. Let's do Tuesday, your rules, as the format we agreed. Let's get it done. Stop manifesting. Can we cross-stream Paleo ChristCon? Andrew doesn't care if someone cross-stream. Let's do Tuesday, your rules on the format we agreed. Okay, we are definitely going to live stream this, guys. We're going to live review this. What time? I just need to verify the time because I will 100% do that. We will, and I'll ask Soren if he's okay with me doing a live review. And it's not going to be where we're just watching and like laughing at JP the whole time. We're going to pause and like I'm going to give my thoughts on JP's things. I'm going to give my thoughts on Alex's things. I think that'll
Alex doesn't like cross exams. He loves them with a passion. It's his favorite thing.
It's his favorite thing. It's very much love.
These are a few of my favorite things.
All right,
guys. You're not
guys.
gonna laugh at JP. That's just crazy talk.
All right. By the way, guys, if anybody knows anybody that needs a website done, I need the money. Because I had two clients back out on paying me this month and ghost me. So I'm very much desperate for some sources of income. I hate running my own business because I have to deal with people like that. I'm very angry, just like this guy right here. See how angry he is? That's me.
If there's any Protestants or Catholics or non-Orthodox in general in the chat, go to 3 liturgies. Don't just go to 1. Go to 3.
Yeah, and go to Vespers as well. Yeah.
Yeah, if you can. If you can, go to Vespers.
Nikolai,
get
why
that
don't
test.
Nikolai, why don't you debate JP? I offered to debate JP. He ghosted me and blocked me. Let me show you.
I mean, we can see that pretty clearly.
Why would he
can't
block you?
Because he's a goober.
Well, because apparently, yeah, he blocked me. See, guys, I can't actually respond to him. He said I'll debate Nikolai anytime, and then I go to like DM him and say, hey, dude, what do you want to debate on? And he literally, okay, all right, I agree to all of. So he realized how bad of a look it was for him. All right, I agreed to all of Alex's terms on Tuesday. I'll debate him as the rules proposed. 15-minute openers, 7-minute rebuttals, 15-minute cross-exam, 20-minute open discussion, 5-minute closings. This will be held on 9 p.m. Eastern, so that's going to be
6 o'clock Western.
In Korea time. I got to remember what time that's going to be. Wednesday in the morning for me, so Wednesday at 11-ish for me.
Read
So
his
yes,
latest tweet. Pufferfish says, I guess this is his latest tweet.
that's his latest tweet 8 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I really want to watch that.
And it says, I agreed to debate Alex and his roles 9 p.m. Eastern. There we go.
His
right,
format, quote unquote.
It's locked in. We'll be doing an open panel. We'll have a bunch of people to analyze each section of the debate. We'll be pausing and giving our analysis of each section and seeing how it goes. All right, guys. So we're gonna see that. My trip to Divine Liturgy.
Lie.
Let's see what do you have to say.
Why would I get out here and lie? Not once a month. That's terrible. Not once a week. Every day. I was impressed with that statement. Now, a lot of stuff was different. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff was, but I wanted to highlight that moment because it stuck with me of all the moments. Maybe it was a guest is in the church moment. Look, I don't know. All right, I don't know. But I'm just telling y'all, I wanted to make sure I drove that back home because I was stunned when he said that.
Why?
Stunned.
Just like don't
Shout out
get
to
it.
that priest for at least that line. And so that was really, really, like I said, it just was cool because he didn't say it like. See, I know some people saying like, no, he didn't say it like you had to be there. See, you weren't in the pews with me. You had to be there. I mean, look, maybe I'm just giving too much grace, but I'm telling you.
In the filth, love how you're there. He says there's prescribed daily readings. It's nothing new. I know in the filth was in our chat earlier, so
yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Telling y'all, it didn't sound like he was like, make sure you read this one day. No, he was like, you need to read your Bibles, and it just was yo.
Yeah, Pufferfish is right. He knows he'll lose street cred if he backs out of more debates. Yeah, he's already backed out of a couple debates. He's found reasons to back out of several debates, and so he has to do this for Alex. Period.
It was crazy. It was wild. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay, Glenn. Like I'm used to it. Yeah.
Nathaniel says, I think JP is freaking out. He got dog walked by a Roman Catholic a few days ago, and now he has to face Alex. Yeah, and Alex had that same Roman Catholic on his channel, so you better believe they're exchanging notes.
Okay, I have a quick question. At what point does it become? Oh, I'm used to being called a liar. At what point is there like any sort of internal thought that maybe I am a liar?
Or maybe my maybe my perception, maybe the perception that I'm giving other people is that I'm not an honest interlocutor. So maybe that's how they perceive me.
Dude, that sounds like when you're in a debate and they keep yelling, "Stop telling me I'm strawmanning. Stop screaming strawman over and over again." It's like, perhaps you can think to yourself for a moment, I might be strawmanning this guy.
No, it's the kids that are wrong.
JP is cooked. Yeah. He's cooked, guys. The best of JP's arguments are low tier at best. I mean, I will say this: JP is probably actually one of the more competent low church Protestant people outside of like Cleve, because Cleve was low church. But there's really no one else. The only other competent debaters in the Protestant sphere are all high church, confessional Protestants. Like we're talking like Jordan Cooper, Ortland. We're talking Lutherans, Anglicans, things like that. And I'm not even saying they're part. I know, but I'm just saying like of all the apologists that are out there that can actually make coherent arguments, Those are really the only ones, and they're not even that great themselves, you know? So, I mean, that's what we have to say.
Yeah, I don't know what my incentive is, like, to lie. I don't know. Like, I don't know how mean I've been to the, church or whatever. So, before we get to the end, yeah, look, they might, hey, listen to Melody. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. They might have knew I was up in there. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. Cause like that, I was.
You're
I
not
was
that famous,
awestruck
dude.
at the state.
I have 1,000 subscribers.
I was awestruck. No joke. No joke. I was like, what did he say? I'm telling y'all, like, no joke. I was mad.
You have
that I was
1.7.
not recording.
You have
I was legit mad.
1.71.
I took a few pictures or whatever, but I was mad that I wasn't. If it's one statement I could play, I would love to play that for y'all. I could blur the footage, but I would love to play that for y'all. Man. But anyway, so after that, they go back in. I can't remember if we sang after that or not. By we sang, I mean they sang, because I don't speak the native tongue. And so I don't know where Router's East Parish is, but like I said, I'm not gonna say too much about where I went today. But then so okay, so here's the thing I remember after that. So after that, they all started lining up, and I was like, what's going on? So they got in the line, and I guess they were going to venerate the cross, I guess. And somebody stops and looks at me, and they go, so somebody stops and goes, hey, do you want to venerate the cross? And I looked at him and I was like, no, I'm gonna just watch. Yeah, I'm gonna just observe. And so it was like, he was like, oh, okay. Then another guy stopped in this line. He was like,
so notice
really
this.
nice,
Notice that he seems to have a issue even with veneration of the cross, not even icons. So the issue goes deeper than icons. Icons are just the vehicle in which they have a problem with veneration as a whole. Notice that.
I was like, it was cool. You know what I mean? Like I had no, well, that's a lie. I had beef with multiple things. But I mean, it wasn't like completely disorderly and rude. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Somebody else says it. The epistle and gospel is always read hummed before the sermon. You obviously wasn't there to pay attention if you missed that. Okay, so let's try this again. Him reading now when John 9 came up.
Okay, can I say this one more time, guys?
Go ahead.
Stop paying these people.
Please stop. Yeah, actually, let's go back. God is the great physician. You've paid this man $10 to try and make a point.
Stop.
That's $10 you could have given to Alex Soren,
That's
$10 to Orthodox Ethos,
your
to
church,
Patristic Nectar, to
your church, church.
Yes, your church. That's $10 that you're never going to get back. That this person is going to flush down the drain at the end of the day. He's not going to remember a single thing you said. In the next stream, he's going to go right back into attacking the church. You're paying him to attack the church. Okay? You should be paying that money to your church, to your priest, to buying catechesis books, to, if you really want to super chat and make a point, go super chat to Alex Soren or, Cleve or myself or other people, right? Like the dozens of clergy that do live streams all the time, Father Ron, like
give Father Ron money. Father Ron needs the gas money.
Yes, he does. He drives an immense amount, and he also flies to 3 different parishes.
Johanan, if you want to donate to Feeding America, that's infinitely better than doing that.
Even that is superior to giving these goobers money. Yeah. These goobers who spend hours and hours a day. Let's just look at how many hours a day this guy spends live streaming. So that was only an hour, but let's see here. He has 3 hours here, 4 hours here, 3 hours here, okay? So and by the way, this is not including the time that he spends on Christian King's podcast and Christian King's Discord, because he spends an inordinate amount of time there as well, okay? Father Peter here's on the official Orthodox canon.
Pastor Shooping, ooh, what a goober.
John 17, 1-12. Now, I know Acts because I recognized it. He said he was reading from John, and I figured out where he was by
listening. Give $10 to the crackhead down the street.
Again, if I'm going to be accused of a lie, let the whole world bear witness.
Your charity to the crackhead might actually be better in stirring their spirit than these people that are in pre-lest.
It'll be better for your soul.
Certainly. Go spend $10, get a burger, and give it to the local crackhead.
Yeah.
Literally.
And
listen to him for 30 minutes.
Either way, like I was there. Here's the funny thing. I literally have a picture with the priest. I got a picture with him at the end of the liturgy. But thank you for your kindness and generosity. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, Fernando.
It's fun. He wants to make sure I read it, Gaddy. He wants to make sure I read it. So again, thank you for your kindness and generosity. But again, I don't know what my incentive to lie would be. So people, look, hey Max, man, they said I should go. This is the thing. Like people, they told me I should read the Fathers. I started doing that. They said, hey, you should go see a liturgy for yourself. Go experience the divine liturgy. You can do literally what they ask, and you still can't win. Now, so what would something? You can't win. You can do literally what they ask.
Go to a Western Rite Liturgy, and the entire thing is in English. You don't. Some of you guys are dorks. You're spending way too much time in these guys. Why are you guys in these guys' chats? Why?
No,
you're not going to convince them anything from a chat.
He's intelligent enough to be able to go to a service that would have been in his native language. He's intelligent enough to do that.
Yes, he can look it up. It's called Takes 3 Seconds. And if he's in Houston, by the way, if he's in Houston area, which is what he confirmed, there are at least 6 or 7 churches.
He probably didn't want to go to Father John Whiteford.
Probably not.
He'd probably get cooked at Father John Whiteford's parish.
Or Father Moses McPherson isn't far away either. No. That entire area is
any of the
really
parishes,
good.
Any of the Rocor parishes, he could have gone to the monastery that's near there and talked to the monks at the monastery.
Fernando says, for your paid piggy bank, I also hope you can make streaming a viable option of income because you bring meaningful discourse that's going on in Extrema, which I'm oblivious to. Well, I thank you. Appreciate you.
Well,
be oblivious to it.
Remain oblivious.
Houston is 35 minutes away from Father Moses McPherson's parish.
Oh no, 35-minute drive? What the horror?
Yeah, that's too much, man. He's black.
Too much.
It's just
you're gonna get us.
I'm sorry. I could leave, dude. I'm sorry.
I didn't.
I said it. Okay, I said it and then realized, hey, that is a little harsh. My name is Moses. Okay, I count as a black guy.
Are you married to a black woman?
No, I'm not married. But
he's spiritually black. So his wife becomes black.
I'm spiritually Arab because I was baptized by Arabs, apparently.
Well, that's true. I'm spiritually Russian.
Yeah. Wait, does the spiritual Russian override the spiritual Arab because I was ordained by Russians?
It's a hard question.
Oh wait, no, I was ordained by a Ukrainian bishop. So am I spiritually
let's be real. Let's be real here.
No, Bishop Theodosius is from Kiev. He is Ukrainian.
Okay, fine. We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there. I won't go there.
And then I'll marry a white woman and become spiritually white again. And then she'll become quarter Mexican.
That's how it works. It's called
you become one flesh.
You become one flesh. That's how it works.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah. According to Pope J. Dyer, we're all BIPOC inside.
Yeah.
It's so true. So let's
the Pope of Wapstantinople.
Full photo with him. So in fact I pulled out my Bible while the priest was doing his Eucharist, with the doors closed and the curtain and all that stuff. To make sure I was remembering exactly what the scriptures were. And I wanted to make sure I took a note so I could tell you guys exactly what was read. Because I thought that'd be fair. Asked me to attend the divine liturgy. So I said, I'll go and experience it.
Orthodox Duva. Again, another Orthodox person paid. He got more super chats.
I don't think that's an Orthodox person.
You don't think so?
Orthodox this is really humble from you, brother. God bless you. I think that's somebody pretending.
Could be. I don't know. The point is,
most Orthodox people I know don't have Orthodox in their name. They're mostly like just schizo names, like my name. My name is schizo name on YouTube. So,
Koala, yes.
Yeah.
So there we go.
I'm a reader. A reader has hands laid on him. It is an ordination, technically.
I was not thoroughly impressed with this. I'm glad that they finally freaking just agreed. I've accepted all the terms. Let's get this debate done and out of the way.
NFTU has blocked. You blocked NFTU. You don't want to listen to schizo.
True Orthodox news and apologetics.
I know who it is. Alex canceled both debates. What?
No, Alex did not cancel both debates. I know for a fact that.
Go back.
Where?
1 hour ago. Alex canceled. No, he didn't.
Yeah, but that was an hour ago. This was only 11 minutes ago. I've accepted all claims. I agree to all of Alex's terms on Tuesday.
Andrew.
See, this is why I love Andrew, guys. Like, this is why you can't hate Andrew. It's like, oh, Andrew cusses.
I know NFTU is Mr. Sweden. I know it is. I know it's him. He's obnoxious.
We don't say that name.
He once tweeted me on both of his accounts at the same time.
Yeah, he's a perpetually online person. I don't even know if he has a parish meaningfully. Like, I don't know if he has a parish, but he certainly doesn't act like he does. Guys, I'm picking this stuff. Hold on. I'm gathering some tortoise food from my home garden, which is like a ghetto garden. You guys should see it. It's crazy. Look at all that.
Ooh.
It's from the leaves from my ghetto garden that I'm gonna feed the tortoises.
Moses, I have a good question for you.
What's up, man?
MCR or Taking Back Sunday?
I liked Taking Back Sunday.
Okay, he's black. I know he's black now. Okay, he's definitely black.
I told you, bro.
No, he's got black people. Black people friends. Black people love Taking Back Sunday over MCR. I don't know why. But it always works that way. Both great bands. Both great bands, though.
Cleve is recommending that I don't debate. And by the way, it's not just Cleve. Several people are recommending that I don't debate Top, because I've been offered a formal debate with the other Paul, and my instinct is to say no. Like I said,
no one should be debating him.
Yeah,
he's so toxic.
Koranist brain right there.
It's
and Cleve regrets platforming him when he was a Protestant.
Yeah. Well, my problem is that no matter what debate topic I have, I know exactly what's going to happen. It's going to turn into just a quote mine battle, and I hate quote mine battles because it's just your interpretation, bro. It's like, okay, that's what it boils down to every.
No, that's every debate with the Protestant.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just your interpretation, bro. It's like, okay. Well,
I'm going to appeal to the scriptures, that the scriptures say what I think they say.
You know, I was never stuck in Protestantism like that. It's like the instant I heard the truth, or even someone claiming orthodoxy was the truth, I was like, really? Let me look into that. I had absolutely nothing holding me back. I wasn't like tied down that way. I really don't understand this.
So I was first approached with orthodoxy in like 2018. It was this really nice guy on a server I was in, total schizo server on Discord. And he presented it, and I was just like, dude, I can't drive an hour and a half to church.
See, this is what I'm talking about. I've sent this guy a call-in link like more than a dozen times because he said that he's willing to talk. And it's like, bro, you're completely misrepresenting what Jay is saying here. Because Jay admits EO does not have a list of dogmas.
Craig Trulia is a little overly ecumenical when it comes to TOP. I think Craig doesn't go on Twitter as much as everybody else does, really.
No, I think the problem with Craig is that TOP was one of the guys that helped him with a couple of his docu series that he did, like doing like voice work for it.
Yeah.
And so Craig has, and also he was one of the early people to help Craig formulate some arguments and things like that. The problem is, here's the truth of the matter is that Craig has a habit of being too tolerant of people. He is just way too tolerant of people. It's a big problem. I actually know 2 or 3 people that were part of Muller's Discord and says that Muller, it's legitimately a cult. several people that escaped it and said that most of them whom are Orthodox now.
Can I use this for a video thumbnail?
Why does a stupid random
Because they want you to look at it. That's gross.
That is gross. Big hack. The big hack.
That's an AI chatbot that has a Twitter account.
Yes, I know. It's an AI person that posts as a AI chatbot. Which, by the way, I don't know why I have that following me anyway. So.
Oh, many years.
I'm sick
many
and
years,
tired
whoever
of
this person is. Many years to you.
Many years. So true. So true, guys.
What a blessed Sunday to be married on. The Sunday of the ecumenical councils.
Thomas Massey says the same thing he's been saying for months and still hasn't done. Shocker!
Shocker. I like Massey. I really do.
I don't. I have no love for the man. I think he's a complete. He's such a lame-o. He got married less than a year after his wife of 23 years died. Less than a year. And by the way, he was dating that person within 2 or 3 months of her death. I'm sorry. You don't do that as a normal person. If my wife died, I wouldn't be right in the head to even think about dating for at least a year or 2 years. At minimum.
My little brother and his wife have
date
said,
and marry.
If one of them dies and there's no children in the picture, the other will just go to the monastery.
Yeah, and that's fine. Yeah, exactly. So sorry, I don't trust somebody like that. I don't trust somebody that moves on that easily. Sorry.
Thomas.
Hey, Johan, you want to know something funny? In the waters of baptism, we ask the Holy Spirit to come and dwell in the water during the service. So yes, we believe that baptism is of water and spirit.
Yes. What were you saying, Moses?
Oh yeah, isn't Thomas Massey a Democrat? Pretty sure.
No,
he is,
he's a Republican. He's more of a libertarian Republican.
He's a libertarian, which means that there's no meaningful distinction between him and Democrats because he'll side with the Democrats despite the Republicans every single time.
That's why
I know he's
principally anti-war. He's anti-war.
Libertarians are anti-logic as well.
Yeah, that's true. Pufferfish says, Nicola, are you going to apply that same ethical standard to Donald Trump? No, because I didn't vote for Donald Trump for his ethical standards. My point is that Trump, the reason I support Trump just on like a very broad praxis is because there's really no other option. 1, 2, objectively, our lives have improved. Do you think our lives would be better under Biden and Kamala Harris, or are they better under Trump right now? The answer is no one with 2 brain cells can say that we would be better under Kamala Harris. People forget how bad it got under Biden. I think people really forget that. Yeah. It got really, really bad. The persecutions, people having their children taken away from them because they wouldn't agree to, pronouns for their children. Like, it got bad, guys.
Massey is not a Zionist, actually.
Well, actually, he gets paid by a billionaire Zionist.
Oh, so
his largest donor is Jeff Yass. Jeff Yass donates tons of money to AIPAC. Jeff Yass is a billionaire, Jewish Zionist. Okay, Massey is only principally anti-Zionist because he let the people online get to his head about, oh, you're the only one not bought by AIPAC in Congress. Meanwhile, his largest donor is one of the largest donors to AIPAC. It's ridiculous. Anyways, go ahead, Moses.
No, I heard a very interesting fact about AIPAC. I don't know how you guys will feel about it, but did you know that Elon Musk, in one election cycle of Trump, spent 87% of what AIPAC has spent since its conception? But Elon spent that in 87% of that total amount of AIPAC in one election, and that was this last one. Did you know that?
Weird.
Meaning, AIPAC really, if you add it all together, it kind of brought it to perspective for me. It wasn't really that much money that they're investing.
AIPAC, like, you can look how much AIPAC is donating to these individual senators. Okay, they're not donating that much to buy a senator. They're not donating that much to buy each and every senator and each and every congressman. It's not that much money, believe it or not. Those congressmen can easily find and source that money from other places. The problem with AIPAC is not that it exists. The problem with AIPAC is that we have traitorous politicians who are more interested in the ideology of Zionism. If you don't want Zionists and AIPAC involved in politics, just vote for guys that are not Zionists. Right?
I can get behind that.
It's that simple. Like just primary these candidates. Primary them, right? The problem is that the as I call them, the alt-right or the alternative right or the anti-Israel Zionist right, etc., etc., etc. The problem with them is they have no organization. They get hyped up with online memes rather than actual meaningful political action. They're not knocking on doors. The guy that's whining about Zionism is not knocking on doors. You know who is knocking on doors? The boomers and the Gen Xer females who are Zionists, who are dispensationalists. They're the ones that are volunteering for campaigns and knocking on doors. They're the ones that are volunteering to go and run for political office. Like all these people that are trying to gas up James Fishback. James Fishback, less than a year and a half ago, was on Jubilee, the Jubilee podcast thing where they do 20 people against one kind of a thing. He was on that defending the Gaza strikes in Israel a year and a half ago. Okay? So, like, even James Fishback, this guy that's like, oh, he's so based, guys. He's talking about, like, taxing OnlyFans chicks, and he says he's anti-Israel. Like, less than a year and a half ago, he changed his view from Israel did nothing wrong, I'm a Zionist, to I'm anti-Zionist and I'm running for political office. Come on. Choose better candidates, guys. This guy's a joke. He's never going to get elected with his platform. He should know that. And he does know that. You're never going to get elected with that kind of platform, even in Florida. Like, I don't know what, like, it's called political pragmatism for a reason. That's the reason I call myself a political pragmatist. You have to be realistic. Why does Trump endorse Lindsey Graham? Because there's no one who is meaningful challenger to Lindsey. There's no one. And he needs Lindsey Graham's vote at the end of the day. And guess what? Because Trump gives like a slight wink and a nod to Lindsey every once in a while, guess what? Lindsey is in his pocket for every vote. Lindsey will vote for Trump and Trump's bills every single time as long as he gets the smallest like favor in his position. He's a reliable vote. Massey was never a reliable vote because he would always find some weird, stupid reason to oppose a bill. It's the dumbest thing. I'm pissed off about some things Trump has done, and I'm so tired of the state of two-party system right now that I just couldn't be willingly help these people like MC, Morandi, Newsom take power. Yeah, listen, at the end of the day, here's my thing. All these people say, I'm gonna stay out of voting, I'm not gonna vote in this upcoming midterms. I'm sorry, so you think your life is gonna be better under a Democrat Congress? Like, you think that's the solution, is to let the Democrats take power, the ones that want to literally trans your children, the ones that want to murder you, the ones that have tried to kill the president twice in like the last 2 days, like two different attempts to storm the White House and shoot these people that have committed multiple mass shootings, the cult, the transgender cult. How many mass shootings have they done since Trump took office? These people are insane. They killed Charlie Kirk, guys.
Is it true that mosque shooting down here in Claremont, San Diego, was by a trans? Is that real?
It was by it was by a couple, actually, a trans couple.
Huh.
Oh my gosh.
That doesn't sound anything like what I heard on the news the other day.
All right.
I can't be 100% sure, but I'm 90% sure. Well, that's why it went ghost. That's why the media ghosted it almost immediately. Has anyone talked about that shooting since it happened? It was initially all over the news when they thought it could have been a white guy.
I heard that, and I also heard it might have been another Muslim group, and then I heard the trans thing. And
the trans thing, my understanding, it's trans, but I mean, it wouldn't shock me if it was another Muslim group. They hate each other just as much as anybody else. So, listen, at the end of the day, here's what needs to be said. At the end of the day, guys, you guys can disagree with me politics, but I haven't been wrong. When the Iran strikes first happened, like a year and a half ago, when those first like initial volley of strikes happened between Israel and Iran, and everyone said it was going to escalate to nuclear conflict, Russia and China are going to come rushing to Iran's aid. I'm like, Russia and China are not going to rush Tehran's aid. They're going to watch it happen, and they're going to be like, thank God that we have these retards out of the picture, that may be a more stable partner in the future. Because, believe it or not, Iran was a powder keg, and the only reason Russia and China tolerated them is because they got gas from them. They got gas and oil from them. That's the only reason they tolerated them. Okay? Like this entire idea, this is so dumb. I just get so worked up with this kind of stuff sometimes. It's like this idea that Iran was this based in Chad, they hate Israel. No, they're just retarded. There's a reason that half the Arab world doesn't give two shits about Israel anymore. How many of these Arab leaders gave two craps about the Gaza conflict? They haven't. They maintained relations with Israel. They've adopted the Abraham Accords. There's a reason for that. They don't care. They don't care about Gaza. They don't care about the Palestinians. You guys got to get over that. If they actually cared, they would isolate them economically. They can't do that. Right? Yeah. Anyways, we'll move on. I'm sure you guys, maybe you guys disagree. If you disagree, it's fine. You can voice your disagreement. I'm not gonna like.
You know what I realized? I cared way too much about this, and this year I've actually kind of refocused my attention to like spiritual growth and stuff. I'm not trying to be piety signaling. I swear, it's just I was so angry about all these things that was consuming my life, and so I feel like, wow, I can listen to Nick rant like that, and I would have disagreed with a lot of that maybe 4 months ago, and right now I'm just like, I hear you.
It's just like why is JP Uncut constantly doing this?
I think I'm starting to become a Jorlandian on this subject, bro. Let's just make a king.
Memes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get rid of this whole thing.
I'm a monarchist, man. There's a reason I've been a monarchist for a long time now. I've been a monarchist even before I was Orthodox. Principally. And that's because the principles of monarchism are far superior to all these others. So,
you know, I looked into that, and the church fathers, the founding fathers of America, they actually didn't have a problem with monarchy. They only had a problem with tyranny. And so,
well, they had a problem with how the British monarchy was handling the situation. And so I understand that. I think ultimately in fact, they tried. It was a unanimous vote. They tried to get George Washington to be the voted king.
Precisely, yeah.
So George Washington refused. His mistake.
They actually passed that vote, though. They actually passed that vote. That's the thing.
They did. They passed it. It was unanimous. They all voted for it.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta go. I gotta go figure out how to put this Russell Terrier in the house. So
cool.
Have a great rest of your night.
God bless you.
See ya.
Don't get shot.
Later, Rita.
Hopefully they won't.
So, Pufferfish, yes, I'm a monarchist, but I also believe in political pragmatism, meaning I understand that monarchy is not in the cards right now. I understand that I have to. Oh no! Like, listen, I advocate for hierarchical systems of government that get us closer to the idea of an elite class, an aristocratic class, and slowly but surely convincing the people that a single leader is the correct way to go about it. And this is what we're seeing in like El Salvador, for example. Nayib Bukele removed term limits because of how popular he is with the people. If you're popular enough with the people, you will be de facto made a king. And Nayib Bukele is basically de facto a king at this point. And it would not
He's
shock
the guy who brought
me.
prayer back, right? Into their meetings.
He brought prayer back into their meetings. He's the country's infrastructure has like done a 180 throughout the country, not just in the urban areas. He's built like 200 new modern schools. He is completely destroyed the cartel issues in their country. It's one of the safest countries in the world right now. You know, it's like the list can go on and on and on and on. It only takes one effective leader to make people go, hey, man, I'd keep him in office forever. And then before you know it, everybody's voting to keep him in office forever. This is the one area where I actually disagree with Trump. I think Trump needed to be a little harsher. I think he should have been a little bit more draconian. But he's a businessman at heart, and that's the unfortunate reality, is that he's not an ideological aristocrat. That's the sad part.
Yeah.
But you got to take what you can get, and ultimately that's what I acknowledge. You have to take what you can get.
What did you think of that debate with Andrew Wilson, where he basically had to defend Trump against that one Catholic guy? What did you think of that?
Yeah, I saw that. Against, you're talking about the former host of InfoWars.
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
remember.
Everybody was like against Andrew on that, and I really didn't understand that reaction. I really didn't.
Send the join link. It should be. Oh yeah, let me post that. John C. Dirks. There we go. Here's the join link. It should pop up. It needs to be on desktop. It will not work for the phone for some reason until they fix that. There is a ticket pending. I did submit a ticket telling Rumble, fix your crap. But it takes some time. But no, yeah, I mean, from Andrew, to answer your question, to Andrew is did a good job, but I think he granted too much. I think he wasn't willing to like give answers to some really easy questions, but I think overall he did okay, and I think people were way too harsh on him. I think again, it's just an online phenomenon where there's a lot of people that irrationally, like, anybody who tries to defend the current system is just not interested in. They're not interested in hearing anything they have to say, right? It's like it's really yeah, it's not John, it's not going to work on mobile because it's bugged, so you have to join via like PC. If not, I can always, let me see. I can always just open up a StreamYard, I guess, maybe on the side. No, I can't do that because then it would be streaming from 2 places. All right, I'll come back to another stream. Okay, fine. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so for Andrew, he kind of granted too much with the Epstein stuff, saying, like, for example, I think most people have no idea how redactions work on classified documents and on judiciary documents. They just don't understand how it works, and so they assume, oh, they're trying to hide something, but that's not necessarily the case. And also, I just want to re-emphasize this: nothing incriminating was going to survive the Biden administration and the previous administrations before that. Nothing. There was nothing. You don't think the elite weren't going to scrub anything and everything that they could before Trump ever even stepped in office? All that was left was just enough vague generalities to make some vague accusations against people, but nothing that was so incriminating that it was going to send people to jail. There was never going to be that, guys. There was never going to be a masks off to the pedophile elite.
I think Andrew made a good point, though. We're basically bombing to death a bunch of pedophiles right now. You know what I mean? I kind of like that point.
I mean, sure. And people are like, oh, there's casualties. Okay, if you're going to hold to that position, you have to hold that any war where there's any civilian casualties, whether intentional or not, is now no longer warranted, and you shouldn't argue for it. Meanwhile, you can look at the wars of Byzantium against the Islam and all these other things. There's always civilian casualties, always, on both sides.
You know, we can always go to their holy war of World War II, you know, and we can show that the casualty rate in that war was absolutely like quintupled any recent war, even Vietnam, like anything.
Oh yeah, the amount of civilian casualties. I mean, what we did to the Germans alone, there's no defense of that. What we did to German civilian cities was absolutely abhorrent. What we did to Japanese civilian cities, they'll say it was justified.
Oh, true. Well, yeah, exactly. If you ask these liberals defending Palestine and defending for the Gaza, they'll say though that was a good war.
Yeah, so there's always it's always a hypocrisy. Now, again, I'm not a supporter of what happened in Gaza. I'm not a supporter of what's going on in Iran because I think there's too much risk of us getting bogged down in a long-term conflict there. But to
Fair
pretend
point.
Iran is even leagues in the same realm as some of these other conflicts that we've seen in the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years is just
Or even Russia and Ukraine right now. Like that's a real war right there, you know.
yeah, that's a real conflict. Yeah.
It's
Even
sad.
if one could
Orthodox.
even if one could reasonably justify it from Russia's perspective, which I'm sure there are people that would defend Russia, it's irrelevant because it's irrelevant because the point is that there are going to be civilian casualties. Even if you have to defend that on some level.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Vigo is right. It was a close call for sure, but Andrew's logical foundation was generally more sturdy. Owen did have some good points, though. I'm not denying that. He did have some good points, but the problem is all of his points were just kind of like these arguments from incredulity. Like, I just find it personally ridiculous that the Trump administration did this. It's like, okay, fine. Would you rather have Kamala Harris in power and we have 15 plus more million illegals in the country? And completely open borders. Meanwhile, we have net negative migration for the first time in decades. We have less H-1B visas than ever before. More H-1B visas are leaving the country than coming in. It's still happening, but more are leaving the country than coming in. We have less green cards being approved. We have less migration. We have more people leaving the country than coming into the country. Meaning more people are emigrating than immigrating. Right? Laugh out loud, Ben Luigi. Yeah, someone said, laugh out loud, Ben Luigi can debate Nikolai. I would debate Ben. It would be a good, friendly, good-hearted debate between two peers who are Orthodox. So we would, at the end of the day, we'd probably just agree to disagree and we'd have a good time. And I probably would take him out to have a beer and discuss politics more again, right? Like, we're not going to come away with just like, oh, this guy's stupid and no one should listen to him. It's like, no, we have valid perspectives. Actually, I'd be more comfortable debating politics than like theology right now, mostly because, like I said, I just don't. There's no theological prompt that I think is going to be sturdy enough to actually that is going to force both of us to have to defend our worldview. I just don't think that Top would ever agree to a debate where he had to defend his worldview. Like if I said, is the Anglican Church, does the Anglican Church's position on the ecumenical councils undermine its ability to claim that it is a true church, right? Like, no, he's never going to do that because it would just allow me to be on the attack the entire time, right? It would be such a ridiculous.
Wait a minute. What would you and Ben disagree on enough to even want to debate?
Well, Ben tends to be much. Ben is a much more. He definitely leans more in the anti-Zionist camp. Not that I'm not an anti-Zionist, but he's more vocally critical of the Trump administration and what is the potential like solution to our problems. And he thinks that a lot of our issues can be just resolved by like we just need to like get rid of Israel, bro. And I just don't think it's that simple, you know.
Like the nation state itself, or what does he mean by that? I've not heard this from him, at least.
Ben thinks the JQ is real. The Jewish question is real, whereas Nikolai doesn't. I don't think that the Jewish question isn't real. I just don't think it's as big of an issue as people like to make it out to be. It's one issue of many. So, for example, do I think that Jewish billionaires and Jewish elite class are subversive? Absolutely. I don't think there's anyone that can deny that. The real question is are they any worse than any other country that tries to subvert us? China constantly tries to subvert us. In fact, there was a Chinese spy that just got caught running for public office in California. You don't think China's not trying to subvert us the same way that any other country is trying to subvert us? Of course not. You know, and Chinese government is formally atheistic, so I'm not really confident that they would be much better for us than any other country, right? It's the same thing with like if we were to snap our fingers and get rid of Israel tomorrow, do you think that the whole world's problems just go away overnight? Of course not. Like a new group would fill that vacuum. A new evil people will always fill the vacuum that's left behind of power. Because most of the powerful people in the world are not moral people. So that's what I've got to say.
What do you? I don't know if you know. I'm not going to ask you to speak for Ben, but what are Ben's or people like his ideas of like fixing this solution of the Jewish problem, quote unquote? You know,
Well, I just
what is
like,
the solution?
I guess talking about it. I guess talking about it.
Because that Owen guy literally spurred out about it. He's making pure emotional appeals like, I don't care, basically screaming. You know, I don't understand that standpoint, but practically, what could someone do? I guess we could repeal all dual citizenship in every way other than maybe perhaps, exceptions through veterans or active duty, obviously, things like that. Special
right here,
times.
he says, how many times have you heard a boomer say we are a nation of immigrants, yet that phrase doesn't show up till 1958? I agree with him. Popularized
True.
until the ADL pushed propaganda. Yeah, okay, I agree with that. Let's see. He supports the Romanian Iron Guard. I kind of support them too, so I'm not exactly sure what the problem is there. I just don't think that the Romanian Iron Guard ideology is not going to work in America. Sorry, it works. Maybe it works in Romania. It's not going to work in America. Why I don't like Israel? An atheist state for me, but not for thee.
What's the solution though? Because I get it.
Well,
It's just
so Gnomrad I've blocked him for a long time, and there's a reason for that, but I won't get into it here because I don't really need to gossip. But Gnomrad is one of those guys that he believes that it's the end of all history is tomorrow, right? Like, oh, Israel's attacking Iran, that's a sign of the end times, and it's apocalypse now, kind of a thing. And it's like, well, that doesn't necessarily follow, but okay. So those and Ben Michael typically leans toward Pat Buchanan. Ron Paul was never going to get us an off ramp with Israel. Ron Paul. This is another thing. People keep on saying Massey got the youth vote. So did Ron Paul. Ron Paul. Everyone was talking about how Ron Paul's got the youth vote. He's inspiring an entire generation of libertarians, and in 10, 15 years, the Libertarian Party and libertarians are going to take over the GOP and blah 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 blah. It never happened. Never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's saying the Israel lobby takes out Massey. The Israel lobby has been opposed to Massey since 2014, or since he first ran in 2014. Okay, Massey has Massey's been in Congress for 14 years. By the way, he opposed term limits for when he was running, and now suddenly 14 years later he doesn't oppose term limits. Okay, whatever. It's like the Israel lobby takes out, but again, his largest backer was Jeff Yass, a billionaire who supports AIPAC, who is Jewish. The Israel lobby takes out Tom Massey. Again, why didn't they take him out 14 years ago when he was first running? Because he's always been, skeptical of Israeli funding, right? Of funds going to Israel and foreign wars. Okay? He's always been that. So why didn't they take him out earlier? Why haven't they taken out AOC, who is verbally skeptical of Israel? Why haven't they taken out Rashid Tlaib, Ilhan Omar? All of those are anti-Israel as well. They're AIPAC, right? Oh, it doesn't mean there's other GOP Congress people that are anti-AIPAC as well. Why haven't they taken out them? That's because those people are actually politically effective, and they know not to step on toes, and they know how to actually get things done. And they don't make their entire personality one thing. That's the problem with Massey. So, yeah.
So again, I'll re-ask, what in the world would you debate Ben on? Because it sounds like you pretty much agree.
Well, I guess what is the politically pragmatic solution? Because I think his position would probably be, we got to oppose the GOP and we can't vote for them in the midterms. We need to teach them a lesson in that way. Maybe that would be where
like
we
a
disagree.
groper.
I think he leans more in the groper. Yeah.
Really? Good Lord.
Maybe. I don't know for sure. I know for sure he's not allied with them because the Groypers went after his wife when he first converted to Orthodoxy, which was like one of the stupidest phenomenons I've ever seen. Fernando says, I'm not as geopolitically knowledgeable as you, but it makes me assured to know that you have valuable things to say, and I stay silent through. I support Conrad and the elders' perspectives of the week. Yeah, I mean, you can support Conrad. I just generally speaking, and thank you for the 10. Just generally speaking, I'm just like, I'm not all that concerned with random countries in the Middle East. Just not. You know, and I'm not all that concerned with trying to predict when the end times are coming, or that we're in the end times, or that, oh, these are a sign of the end times. I'm just not all that concerned about it. You know, because I think, like the scriptures say, Christ will come like a thief in the night. We don't know when. Like, yeah, certainly prophecies can like signal that we're approaching those things, but it has nothing to do with other things. And I think actually getting so caught up and lost in the sauce on focusing on geopolitics actually loses what is like important here and now. What's important here and now is converting people to Holy Orthodoxy. Not talking for the 20th time about an obscure elder who made some predictions, you know, or made some prophecies or had a vision. By the way, all of which could not or could come true. Because we know that a lot of prophecies are contingent, right? They're contingent on the repentance of the people. So, for example, if there's a prophecy that Turkey will be destroyed because of their apostasy, if the people of Turkey convert to Orthodoxy, are they still apostate? Well, of course not. So then the prophecy of them being punished for their apostasy wouldn't come true. So a lot of those things are contingent on repentance of the people and the nation, right? Which is why we pray for our leaders. That's why we pray as Orthodox Christians for our leaders. That's why we pray for the whole world. We pray for these people because we want to defer God's judgment on these people if at all possible. I don't want Turkey to be judged in that way. Right? I want them to come to Christ.
You're talking about the Islamic nation of Turkey? Is that what you mean?
Yes, Turkey. The longest, the Republic of Turkey, or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
I want Saudi Arabia to convert to Orthodoxy. I don't want them to be punished by God, right?
Well, yeah, I think we'd all pick that option, but
someone said Jerusalem, Antioch, and Alexandria are very important. They are very important. We should support them in the way that we can through monetary means. But you, like, what do you want? Do you want America to conquer Egypt and overthrow the government and then reestablish the Alexandrian Patriarchate? Sorry, reality is that's never going to happen. Not while we have Freemason Protestantism as the backbone of America. So what we should be more concerned about is converting America to Holy Orthodoxy so that we have the ability to pressure our candidates and our leadership to actually doing something like that if necessary, right? Like, that should be the goal, not like just speculating on theology outside of that. So,
you know, the most effective thing I've seen so far in the last 10 years that would even remotely get us in that direction is what Andrew Wilson is doing right now. He's not necessarily arguing for orthodoxy, but he is fighting what I would say, and I think he'd say this too, which is the actual root cause of this Protestant evangelical Zionism that supports feminists. That's why you have a bunch of covert feminists within even American Orthodox parishes. I mean, good Lord, I don't even like talking to anybody at my parish anymore because I'm just tired of finding out, oh, she's a feminist too, and there's another covert feminist. It's like, oh Lord.
Yeah, the covert feminism stuff is it's a big issue that we have to address here. So we have more important things to address, like covert feminism and things like that, than we have to deal with other things right now, right? Women in America are going to learn once all the guys, like, they're going to learn the hard way once all the guys leave to go to, like, you know,
Orthodoxy.
When they leave to go to Orthodoxy, but also the Orthodox women that refuse to date these men. It's like they're going to learn the hard way when those guys go, okay, fine, I'll just find a girl that's willing to convert from, you know, Asia or Eastern Europe or whatever else, right? Like they'll go and find other women that are actually willing to follow and be spiritually led. I mean, that's what's going to be the reality. That's the reality of the situation. So, with that being said, guys, I'm don't think I have much else to cover today. We kind of covered what I wanted to cover. If there's nothing else, we'll probably be wrapping it up here, unless there's people that want to call in. So any last minute questions, super chats, anything like that, now is the time, guys. So if you have any comments or things you want me to consider or videos that you want me to respond to, now would be the time to get those sent in now so that I can schedule it for the next stream. Like I said, we probably will be doing a stream reacting and responding to Alex Soren's debate on Tuesday. So we will be doing a live reaction and we'll be having a panel. I'm sure a panel of people will join. And then maybe Alex might even join for a post-stream debate. I don't know, or a post-stream analysis. I'll ask him. Maybe I'll join his stream instead. So I'll stream during the debate, and then after the debate, I might join his stream or something like that. So we'll see, guys. With that being said, is there if there's no more super chats, if there's no more questions, I'll start closing it out. Moses, you have any thoughts? Any last minute things?
No, man, I always have fun hanging out with you, brother.
God bless you.
Yeah, you as well, sir. I'll catch you on the next.
And guys, like I said before, I'm going to reiterate it now because that's what a good businessman does. Is if you guys know anybody who needs like website work done, if they need some IT consultations or IT work done of any type for their business, SEO, digital marketing, etc., we do that for my business. So please reach out to me. In the link, you can see our website below. You can just do a contact. You don't need to look at any of the pricing. That's my business partner's side of stuff. But if you just do a contact, we'll do a consultation and all that stuff for website building and things like that. If you guys want to support in other ways, there's always PayPal as well. And that's all I got to say, guys. Thank you very much. And have a wonderful day. Thanks, Moses, for hopping in. God bless you. Close that out. We'll remove this. Open up this. Yes, and then also one last thing, guys. I'm working on the AI project. It's getting close to finished. So if any of you guys are interested in that, reach out to me, let me know. So have a wonderful day.